Eventurally.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast. You heard it here. ... Eventually. Today's
sir.
sponsor, nobody. So if you're a nobody, thank you for sponsoring us.
Today's sponsor is
Appreciate it.
my salad from
Well, we have two then.
from Sam's Club. I don't have a membership, but I found a way to get one of their salads.
How?
My mother.
Oh, okay. You can't just be on your mom's plan?
I
I
could.
honestly don't know how those plans work.
So, my sister's fiance works at Costco, so I get a free Costco membership through him. My mom pays for Sam's Club, but we don't have a Sam's Club closer to where I am, so I don't care about being on her plan.
Okay. We honestly don't even have any Sam's Club here. We only have Costco.
Sam's Club is owned by
BJ's
War.
is coming back.
What's BJ's?
BJ's is just another wholesaler. It was like the first one. My
Really?
parents used to go to BJ's when I was like 2 years old.
I think they changed it because of the internet brain rot and that name.
And the name? No, it's coming back. It's just BJ's wholesaler still. Like it's
Damn.
all over their signs. That's fine. Brian Jr. wholesaler. I don't know what it really stands for, but obviously it has it's an acronym
Yeah.
that I mean, just embrace the meme, I guess. At that point, why not?
At that point, have like your logo be like some
Something
dick sucking.
sexual.
Yeah.
Just have really, really risque and like sexual commercials and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that would make me
Why
go.
not? Yeah, right. Cause just like there's a guarantee you'll see a bunch of smoking hot people.
Everyone there, you know that
After you go.
So this is actually a crazy story. Did you hear about that one guy who like went to the Bikini bar? He went to this bikini coffee shop where you go and everyone works in bikinis. And he was like masturbating in the drive-thru apparently. And then, I'm not kidding, I think he killed himself after being exposed online.
I
and
mean,
so-
you gotta know that's the risk, right? I mean, like,
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if he was actually masturbating, so I don't want to spread misinformation, but his hands were in some weird places. That's
Yeah,
all I'm going to say.
I'm sure that it happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens like at every fast food restaurant. Like people just do it for like the thrill or just to be assholes or whatever. So, I mean, the like getting found, you have to be prepared to get found out.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be when you do stuff that's crazy or weird, you just have to be prepared for the consequences. I think you like if you go in expecting no repercussions and then a repercussion happens and you go to an extreme, like honestly, you weren't ready, you weren't prepared.
I wouldn't be surprised if that bikini coffee shop is like always recording everything that comes
Of
to a
course.
drive-thru.
I mean, every drive-thru is always recording because you might have people that come up and try to like rob you.
Oh, true.
So there's always cameras.
Is there
And they
always
need to be able to see your car.
is there
they can
always a
see your
camera
car.
in the menu? That's what I don't know.
To see their faces?
Mhm.
I don't know exactly where they are, but I think yeah, so they can see everything that's in the car and those speakers actually are really good. There was a time where I was at a Starbucks.
Mhm.
It was me and the dogs were in the back and Karina was in the seat in the passenger seat. And this woman would not move up. Like I felt like an asshole because we were stopping the person from behind us
Mhm.
from ordering. We were far away though. Like my window was still open. The woman in front of us was not pulling up, but she had plenty of room, and we were just basically blocking out the person behind us from being able to order.
Mhm.
And so I'm like just ranting about this woman, about how much of an asshole she is, and she has no sort of like etiquette, and she's just a scummy human being. And when we get up to the window, the girl goes, "Oh, that was you saying all that stuff about the woman?" I was like, yeah, you could hear that?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, those speakers are good. We can hear it." We were all dying laughing because we saw it on camera how she just wouldn't move her car up.
That's so funny.
So I was like, it was a compliment. I was like, damn, I'm like, but then I immediately started thinking back to every conversation everything I've ever said after I drove away from a drive-thru speaker.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever insulted someone and then maybe they like spit in your food?
I know my best man did, but I don't know if he did it before he got his food or after. I think it was after. Whenever he used to go to McDonald's, whenever the shake machine was down, like Shamrock Shake or whatever, he would just be so mad. And his girlfriend at the time actually recorded him ranting in the car as they drove away. It was like a 10-minute recording about all, like he was just berating these poor minimum wage employees who aren't even, like you find out later, aren't even certified to clean that machine. Like you need a specialist from like McDonald's corporate to come in and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like berating these people. I was like, man, I really hope he didn't start berating them before, like while the window was down, before he got his food, because yeah, for sure there was some sort of like butthole or like genitalia touching his food without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I had no idea until that moment that they could hear so well
Mm-hmm.
on those, because you can't hear shit what that they're saying.
Yeah, they're like,
I can't understand a fucking thing that they say.
that's all you hear.
Yeah. Like a lot of times I gotta be like, what? Especially like now, it took me like 10 tries to understand that the first thing they were saying now was, are you ordering or are you using the McDonald's mobile app today?
Yeah.
The first, like, I swear to God, 10, 12 times, I was just like, no, I just guessed. I didn't know what they were saying, and it finally clicked for me one day when I actually got to somewhere where there was a clear speaker.
Well, the one that I hate is when it's the robot who asks you that, and then you say no, and then you hear a real person. That one trips
I've
me up
never
every time.
experienced that.
Yeah, so like you'll go up and it'll be this female voice, and she'll be like, "Hello, are you using your McDonald's rewards app today?" And then you say no, and then some other guy's like, "Yeah, what can I get you today?"
I've never experienced that. And honestly, I'm eating healthier now, so I probably won't be at McDonald's anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would throw me off too, for sure.
Yeah.
Be like, why the hell are there two? I wouldn't even realize it was a recording. I'd be like, why the hell are there two people taking this order?
And yeah, and
This
then
is
it's
not a
because it's
two-person
like
job.
obviously it probably only goes to their headset when I say no, or even if I say yes. But then it's like, what's the harm in just asking me yourself? Or not the harm, but like, does it save time really to have a robot ask me?
Yeah, I wonder if it's like the workers are just like, we just don't want to ask that question every time or
Yeah.
something.
We don't want people to hate us, because I do hate when people ask me the same shit over and over again.
I wonder if like McDonald's found out that most employees just weren't asking people, and so they're like, all right,
Probably.
we're putting in a robot now that.
Well,
to
have you ever
force
had
them-
it, or
force
the
them to think.
robot takes your whole order? That one's crazy.
No, I've never even had the robot ask me the first
Yeah,
question. Of
like-
course, I haven't had to take the whole order.
Oh, that's fair. Like sometimes you'll go and they'll just know. You can be like, I want a number 5, no pickles, and they can understand it. AI is crazy. The AI takeover is happening, and I'm telling y'all, it's happening soon. It's happening in our lifetime.
God, that's got to be one of the worst places to start with AI. A McDonald's drive-through. That's
Mhm.
gonna for sure. That if AI is gonna be like humanity's a piece of shit, it's gonna definitely stem from McDonald's AI.
Yeah,
That's
and then
gonna
we get some
start- that's
Ultron
gonna-
shit.
Yeah, it's gonna filter its way into like the military systems and stuff, and then you're just gonna have the McDonald's thing asking all the military soldiers, "Do you want to use the McDonald's mobile app today?" And when they say no, they're gonna be like, "Well, fuck you, we're killing all of you."
Exactly. It's
Full
a
on
GG
Skynet.
for Earth.
Man, I kind of want to experience that now. If I ever hear of McDonald's that does that, I'd probably go once just to experience the robot ordering.
Yeah, it's fun.
I know you can do like the big ass touchscreens inside now. If anyone really cares to get out of their car and go into a McDonald's anymore, but
I
have seen it.
when I go somewhere that has something like that, like I will always order from the touchscreen now. But for the I also will always put my mobile order inside because my window doesn't work. And I feel like a fucking loser having to open my door every time to get my order. So I'll always do it for in-store pickup.
Gotcha. I had that at one point. I never really cared that much though. I just had to drive up kind of far, and then they were like looking at me weird, and then
Yeah.
I would open my door and be like, "Yeah, window's busted."
It's the word. I got pulled over once with this window, and I'm always like, because I don't get pulled over often. It's really been once in my life, but like I'm always nervous that if I open the door initially, he's gonna think like I'm gonna charge him or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
You just-
sometimes
is it
I'll open like
electric?
yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll open like the back window and be like, "Hey, my window's over the sunroof,"
Yeah.
and I'll scream out the sunroof, be like, "My window's broken. Am I allowed to open my door?"
Yeah, I would obviously do that. I wouldn't just get out of the car, because if you try to get out of the car, they almost always are yelling at you like, "Stay in your vehicle."
Yeah.
And it's really for your safety that you're supposed to stay in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when they yell at you, it makes you like nervous, right? The
Yeah.
cop is yelling at you and giving you orders. I was gonna say you should just open the back window, or if you're pulled over on a highway, they're really supposed to come for their own safety around to the right.
Oh yeah.
So that's also a situation where like you can just
But then
brake as
even
many ones
that,
as you want,
even
and you won't
that, then
to-
I have to reach over
that
to the
awkward
passenger
situation.
window to control their window.
You don't have four.
I have
controls.
4, but only the back 2 work on the next to me. I don't know why. So then I have to
And
reach
you can't
over,
just get it.
and they're
Just
probably
get
like,
it fixed.
I mean, I probably could, but it's also like it depends if I go somewhere So my dad's coming up in April, I think, and he's like, "Listen, buy the part, we'll fix it." I went to this mechanic. I think he wanted to charge me $300.
Yeah, that's how
That's
much it costs to
that's
fix things.
great. The part is like $20.
Yeah, but it's an electronic. He has to take the door apart.
Yeah,
He
no,
has to reconnect everything.
yeah, my dad can do that. He works with. He's an electrician.
All right, yeah. I mean, if you can wait, then go for it. I'm not saying like you have
Oh
to pay
yeah,
the guy.
no,
I'm
yeah.
just saying like that's not
It's
totally
been
unexpected from my side that it would cost $300.
it's been like this since 2019, I think. Probably earlier, maybe 2020, maybe 2018. Because
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I got this car. My mom got a new car, I think, in 2018, and that's when I inherited this one.
So this car, how old is it in its lifetime? Not just at your ownership.
I mean, it's a 2008 Nissan Altima, so she probably got it maybe 2012.
2008. It existed in 2008. That was
Yeah,
when it was born.
yeah,
Its birth year was 2008.
yeah,
That car is almost 20 years old.
yeah.
Holy shit. You need a new
And
car.
it doesn't even have 100,000 miles on it.
Well, I guess
Yet,
maybe you don't need a new car in that
yet it
situation,
gives me
but
trouble all the time. One time, I was driving to my friend who's like an hour away. It just died in the middle of the road. And
yeah, I mean
then
that's gonna happen with the old parts.
no, but then I take it to the mechanic and they can't reproduce it. They're like, "Yeah, we've driven it around the block like 4 times, nothing's happening." So then they like changed something. They were like, "This could be it." I got
Mhm.
charged like $150, and then it hasn't happened since. So maybe it was that, or maybe it was a fluke when it happened initially.
What happened when it died?
So like the RPM, I feel like it like I was accelerating and it wasn't accelerating. So I pulled over, I turned it off, I turned it on, and then the RPM was just going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I don't know what that means.
I mean, it could. Yeah, I don't know enough about cars. I know a couple of parts that would just kill your car though.
Yeah, it
Alternator
didn't just
dying.
die in the middle of the road. Like I had time to like pull over.
Yeah, battery dying, no power. Alternator dying, your battery can't recharge. But either way, that would just be like your power goes
Yeah.
out, like slowly.
Mhm.
Like different things will start turning off at first. Because my
Mhm.
dad's car had a power issue at one point. He's driving home, and all of a sudden, like all the dashboard goes out, but the car's still working. And he basically knows that he has like an hour left on the car before the battery dies, and he makes
Damn.
it home and then charges it, like jump
I
starts
want to
it or
say
whatever.
every single light on my dashboard went on when it happened, like initially.
Yeah, I feel it could be the only thing I can think of would be like transmission for the RPM thing.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like all fucked around the gears and shit.
I
And
didn't
it
know
wasn't
if
really,
because it was
I don't know.
I want to say it was summertime around then. So I don't know, maybe it like overheated if that's a thing.
It can overheat, yeah. I don't think it would do the RPM thing though. That's weird. I mean, it almost seems like I think the car's a little bit too old to have like a computer that controls everything like we
Yeah.
do now. But
Mhm.
that would sound to me like if that was in like a 2014 car or later, I would be like that was the computer fucked up or
Yeah.
like had like some sort of weird like bug that they released an update for from Nissan headquarters and then auto
My
updated next
only
time you turn it on.
requirement for a new car is I want I don't think it's a full-on SUV because I don't want one of those long shits, but like a Nissan Rogue is my ideal size. That's what my mom currently drives. It's like I don't know if it's a crossover or a SUV, but that's my ideal size. I love that
It
car.
says SUV when I search it.
Oh,
I need to look. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is like a mid-size SUV, I would say, because you're
yeah.
talking about like the fucking like Cadillac,
Yeah, I don't want one of those.
what the celebrities get chauffeured around in. Yeah, those things are like twice as long as this and enormous.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
too
no, this
big.
is like a regular size SUV. There are smaller SUVs too, which
Hmm.
look more like hatchbacks, I think, than anything.
My friend
So you
told me
want a
that
slightly larger
he
car.
can see me in a Toyota RAV4.
The new Rav4s look cool too. Hold on, let me
Yeah.
look that up again. Rav4.
I probably wouldn't get like a
These new ones,
2024, but
even the 2018 look kind of cool, but I
yeah.
would. Hold on, let me see. This 2024 looks like shit. There's no way. Am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of the one that looks kind of like a Jeep.
Or
Toyota
what's the Mazda
2025.
SUV? That one looks cool too.
I don't know. I don't know the car names. Oh yeah, no. The new Rav4, the one that has like Toyota spelled out on the front, looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks almost electric. It looks almost like a hybrid, but I don't think it is.
I would like a hybrid, but for a long time, when I was in college and like I just got this car and I didn't think it would even last me this long, I was like, I want a Tesla when this car dies. But now it's like fuck Elon Musk and everything he stands for, so I'm not gonna buy a goddamn Tesla.
Dude, I know. But I'm so glad that so many other makers are coming out with electric.
Yeah, because I no, but so I do want
God.
I do want an electric car, but I also think depending on when this car dies, I don't think we're at the state where I would want a fully electric because like just like charging stations and all that.
Yeah.
And if like something dies, it's like you can only go to one place. At least I know for
hmm
Tesla that's the case. I don't know if that's every. Uh,
I
hi-
think at this point, so your car is old enough, but at this point, all the computers and all the parts are so proprietary
mm-hmm.
and specific that most like just generic garages, it's almost like not feasible to have it because basically the only way that they check cars now is they plug something into the fucking computer. The computer reads out what's wrong with the car because it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to know, and then they fix that part. But in order to get the part that connects to your car, you need to license it from each maker. So they need to get Nissans,
So are
you need to get
mechanics gonna die?
Toyotas. I think like mom and pop mechanics, yeah, unless they're going to specialize in historic cars and stuff, which obviously you still need people to fix that and stuff.
Damn. I
But
love
I
my
think that more
mechanic.
often than not, people are just gonna start going to the dealership,
Damn.
like or a licensed dealership for your car make, because they're the only ones that are gonna have like the parts on hand, the ability to connect to every single make and model based on the computer like framework or whatever the fuck the part is.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that opening, like I wouldn't try and open up. I wouldn't become a mechanic right now
Yeah.
unless I was planning to work on like at one of the dealerships.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna. If my car dies tomorrow, I'd get a hybrid. If it dies in a couple years and we're in a better state for electric cars, I would consider getting a fully electric one.
Yeah, I'm just I mean I just finished paying off my car the month I got married.
Mm-hmm.
So in November, so I don't have my fucking $502 car payment every month.
Nice.
Sweet. Now I can save money. um but I am going to drive this car into the fucking ground
Oh
and I'm going
yeah.
to get full electric cuz this
Nice.
thing's only like 5 years old. That was my loan was 5 years. It's like a little bit older than 5.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and I think I can make it last. I mean, I drive a lot. I definitely drive more than you.
Oh yeah.
So, I think that I can make it last like a solid at least another 5 years just by taking it regularly to the mechanics and stuff, or to the it's a Subaru Legacy, so Subaru dealership.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem I've ever really had with it, besides like my tires, like getting nails in my tires, have been the battery did die and it like was leaking acid. So you open the hood and it's just like fucking all this dried up acids on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got a jump start, and the guy jump started my car. He's like, "Yeah, you gotta get this fixed. Look at all this like acid residue and stuff." I was like, "Why'd you even touch this?" Like he jump started my car. It was my insurance, Liberty Mutual, their roadside assistance. The guy just drove up. He jump started with his minivan that he was driving,
That's funny.
and I went to the part. I went all over the state to get a fucking battery for this thing, because like the first place didn't have it, the second place didn't have anyone on site that could install it, and I didn't want to touch all the acid on the battery.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally replaced it, but that's the only major failure I've had. I've had to replace the brakes, like 5 years old, of course.
Yeah.
And there've been some expenses from that, but otherwise, I think like I'm taking good care of my car, and I can get this thing. I think I can get it another good like maybe even 10 years. Honestly, the inside's more likely to collapse than the outside, because or like the actual mechanical part, because I take the dogs everywhere. So,
Oh.
like my seats are kind of fucked up. There's hair everywhere. Like no one wants to sit in this car for sure unless you're in the front two seats.
Do you have one of
And
those thingies that goes in
like
the
a
back?
bench.
It's
No,
like
I don't.
yeah, I don't even know what it is, like plastic or something.
Yeah, they call it like either a bench or like some sort of seat protector stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Karina has one in her car because hers is a lease. You're not even really supposed to have the dogs in the car at all. I should get one for my car, but at this point, I don't know if it's like a losing battle. If I do anything, I'm gonna get the car detailed.
I was gonna say, I
I'm gonna
think you
spend
get
like
it detailed, and then
$500 to get it detailed.
there's.
It'll definitely take 2 rounds.
I thought 200 was a lot for a detail, but maybe not. There's a place that'll do it for
Well,
like 200.
well, yeah. So if you have a normal level of filth in the car, but I
Oh.
have a shit ton of dog hair all over my car, so they probably would tell me that they can't even do it through one pass of the detailing process. They might need to do it more than once. I've heard people say that.
Damn, that's like when your teeth are so fucked up that they have to do your cleaning in quadrants.
The deep cleaning,
Yeah.
yeah, and it takes like an hour per quadrant, so it's like 4
Mhm.
hours of cleaning. Then
Yeah.
they have to numb you for the cleaning, which I've
Mhm.
also never had to do. I've never had to numb for the cleaning, just for one of my like 50 cavity fillings.
I
Uh,
Speaking of dentists, I have gone to the dentist for the first time in maybe 8 years recently.
Fucking crazy.
And my teeth are perfect. He told me
That's even crazier.
he told
That's
he
even
he
crazier.
literally word for word told me, you cannot tell people that you haven't gone to the dentist in this long because you're gonna put dentists out of business.
That's insane.
He said I had one cavity so small they're not gonna do anything about it in 8
Yeah,
years.
it's almost like a pre-cavity kind of thing. Then.
Yeah, he was like, You're on the verge between deep cleaning and cleaning, so we're just gonna do a normal cleaning, and we'll get a little extra clean in there. So so
Little
he,
Mr. Clean going in
yeah,
with the
yeah,
magic eraser
yeah.
right at the gum line.
He was like, we don't need to do too much. He was like, the only thing you need to work on is your gums. And I was like, listen, 8 years, that's all I got to do. I'm content with that result. I thought I was gonna be like, listen, you got gingivitis, we got to take out all your teeth. You're gonna have dentures for the rest of your life.
You need veneers. You need a full set of veneers. $30,000, please.
I think we're gonna slowly learn as a society that like people with veneers are like gonna have problems later.
Well, yeah, they like
They
file
shave
your
them down
actual
to a
teeth
nub.
down. Yeah, I know it's gross. Like when the veneers fall out and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it. I'd rather have like I got big fucking teeth already, so I'm okay. I don't want them to have to file this thing down all the way. It would take me like twice as long as a
if I
normal
was
human.
like if I was like 80 and on my deathbed, maybe I'd be like, sure, put me in the grave with some veneers.
Yeah, do it after I die.
Yeah,
Use my estate. Use my vast estate
because listen, my
to give
kids
me a
aren't
lot
getting
of
shit.
plastic surgery while I die, so that I look good in the ground
Yes,
for
sir.
like the 5 hours that people see me in the open casket. Yeah. I would go the opposite way. I'd be like, fuck me up. Make it look like I died in a horrific accident. Like, shoot me a couple of times. Make it look like I went down fighting.
How
Yeah.
long do you think it takes? Moment in the let's say with embalming fluid and without embalming fluid. How long does it take before you're a full skeleton?
I dropped out of anatomy class like on week 2.
I
I would say without anything preserving you. It also depends on the environment and if like what you're buried in and stuff. You're saying like normal coffin.
yeah. Do you think it
Okay.
differs between ground and like wall?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because
Really?
the ground has the moisture to keep you juicier longer. Yeah.
But doesn't the coffin like block the moisture?
It should, but it can't block everything. Like if you get a torrential downpour, like the water is soaking into the ground, it's slowly gonna seep its way in, I'm sure.
That's fair.
Like I don't think that you would like dig up a coffin after a torrential downpour and open it up and it's like totally dry inside and like the corpse is pristine. I honestly don't know. I mean, you wouldn't mummify because we're not doing the mummification shit.
But we could bring it back.
Yeah, we could bring it back. I don't know who would want to mummify. At this point, with like the limited space we have on Earth, how many people really want to be buried in the ground in like a graveyard?
That's true. I think people are gonna. I think a lot more. I think a lot of people already get cremated, but it's gonna like become like you need to get cremated soon enough.
Yeah, like no more, and you can like have like a memorial set up somewhere, but not there won't be like graveyards and stuff.
Or we're gonna build more walls.
Oh, like the walls, like
The mausoleum, yeah.
Mausoleums, yeah. I was like walls. What the fuck? Yeah, I could see the more walls. I could see more mausoleums, but I mean, how many people really want their like the bones just there? Like, do you really need to go there and see the bones? Like, the whole thing is like a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
As long as you're like you believe in the afterlife and you believe you're talking to that person, it doesn't matter where you are. You don't need to go to their grave and dress it up.
Yeah.
Like a memorial for like someone who's fallen in battle or something. I understand that being public, but otherwise, it's really more of a private, personal thing.
Yeah. But
Maybe
then
your
that
descendants can go. I don't
yeah.
know.
My grandpa's in a wall, and my grandma, like the day after it happened, she was like, "I already bought my spot." So there's an empty spot right there, and then he's in the
So
wall.
they can be next to each other. Yeah. A lot of couples do that before either one dies.
Yeah.
They just like reserve their spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already of the mind like I don't want to go in the ground.
Like you want to be cremated?
Yeah, or like somehow just like my body breaks down and returns to the earth. Unless I donate myself to science because they figure out there's some weird thing with my tendons. I don't know.
That'd be cool. I don't like how little we know about the afterlife. I don't think I have a preference. You can do whatever you want with me. If it brings someone joy for me to be in the ground, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna care anymore.
Depending on how big your family ends up being, that could be a problem. I've heard of a lot of people like when someone doesn't leave specific instructions in their will or whatever, the family fights over what to do.
Really?
And without having, and then you need to figure out like the final say goes to like the whatever of the estate. I forget who it is, like the master of the estate or something. But then you have like people fighting about what you would have wanted and stuff, and it causes familial rifts. I've heard of that happening. So if I have a big family, I'm of course gonna say what I want to do so that no one fights and ends up in,
Okay,
like,
then
blood
maybe
feuds
this.
over it.
Put this in my will officially. Cremate me and put me in a Tenga egg. Are you familiar
You
with a
have way
Tenga
more.
egg?
They're not that big though.
That's okay. I'll be cremated.
So just a little bit of ashes.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the ashes are gonna go?
I don't know, like give it to my wife or something,
Hmm.
and she can decide.
In what though?
I don't know. Put me in like
In
a
an urn.
glass. Put me in like a glass dildo or something.
You should just get like a glass mold of your face. That's the exact dimensions of how the ashes would be.
Uh
And
huh.
then it's just your face staring at people like
That'd
through
be
the
cool.
ashes.
That would go hard. And then can I like require that it's up at on my above my fireplace at all times?
You can put anything in your will, yeah. But then of course they sell the house immediately because then it's not your fireplace and they already respected your wishes.
Son of a bitch.
They get creative to get around it. Or they
Damn.
just like don't put you in the fucking thing. They're like, nah, we won't respect his wishes. That's
Damn.
weird.
I would be so upset. I mean, I wouldn't
I mean,
be
it's your
upset.
family. I don't know. Depends on how much they love you, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe I chose the wrong one.
If your mom did that and asked you to do that, would you do it?
Put her face in a.
You have your mom's face where you can see her ashes just up on a mantelpiece somewhere, and every time you walk past, it's like your mom is looking at you, judging you.
I feel like I'd have to.
You do it because of her wishes, but you wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or we would be like Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, and me and my sister would like switch off every 6 months, and be like, you could have mom this month.
Like, okay, yeah, yeah, the custody battle.
Yeah.
Who has to deal with that?
Mhm.
Being scared shitless at night.
I've also heard, I don't know, I'm sure this doesn't happen for humans, but I've heard for dogs, if you don't specifically request, like, I want my dog to have its own cremation, sometimes they'll just do a jumble cremation.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, my parents' vet, when their last dog Buddy died, the vet was very explicit that like he sends it to someone who always does the pets individually and always sends you your pet's ashes because a lot of times like they do the group cremation, they just get some ashes in general,
crazy to
and then
me.
just send like the right amount
Yeah.
to the people. But like this guy will cremate them and he'll send you the teeth in the thing so you can like see them. So if you recognize the teeth
Mhm.
and like whatever else survives it.
Wait,
and
they
stuff, and
pull
they'll
out
do,
the
like,
the
nice
teeth
things.
don't burn.
Oh, the teeth don't burn.
Oh.
Yeah, like the bones don't really burn. They
Yeah.
like have to be filtered out.
Yeah.
It's really all the rest, like the organs and the skin and the fur and
Listen,
stuff. Yeah.
Luna got like 2 teeth left, so we'll keep one of those, I guess. We'll send it to that guy.
Yeah, but I would of course request that.
Yeah.
I care more about that than I would about like I don't know some human's ashes. I don't
Yeah.
care what like. My
Did
parents
you-
want to be in an urn in my house, fine, but they're gonna be like in the attic, and my dogs will be on the mantelpiece with their like portraits that I had commissioned during their lifetimes above each one of them.
I saw a My Strange Addiction video, and this lady was addicted to eating her husband's ashes.
Yo, that's so gross. I only ever watched one, and it was the woman who took shots of gasoline like,
Yeah.
a couple of times every day. I was like, oh, like it. I mean, I like the smell of gasoline. But
Oh, yeah,
there's
me too.
Absolutely no way I would like the taste.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. And I think some of these people just did it for fame.
Really?
There's no way that woman is going and buying gas and doing shots of gas all the time. She probably did it leading up to the show to prove that she was great, like whatever. So the
Mhm.
show came out, did the episode, and then I would be shocked if like a month later after the show aired, like or stopped filming or whatever, she was still doing that.
Damn.
I'd be shocked.
Maybe.
There's just no way. And first of all, it would kill you. It would literally it's
Like,
poison.
How
There's
much
no way it's not
gasoline do you think
poison.
you need to consume, though?
I mean, I don't know. It's poison, but she was doing multiple shots of it.
That's
every
what I'm
single
saying.
day.
So, like, it's like you would think that she would already be dead.
I mean, technically, all right. So technically, alcohol is poison, right?
Yeah.
But you can filter out a certain amount. So did she really figure out the mess? She went to some doctor, and some doctor was like, ethically, like, this is the exact amount of alcohol that you can consume based on your liver health and your body weight.
Yeah.
So, or gasoline. I don't know if I said alcohol or gasoline. Gasoline that you can consume. You do this many shots, and then you're okay, and then you can live a full, normal, healthy life. I mean, if he said
Maybe.
normal, then he's not a real doctor. Or he is a real doctor, but he's delusional, or he's lying to his patients. I don't know. That one made me never want to watch that show. And I never watched another episode after that.
I've only seen do you know Dr. Mike on YouTube?
If I saw a video, maybe.
Yeah, well he sometimes does like a doctor react that I'll watch sometimes, and he was doing the one where the woman was eating her husband's ashes, and like she was like, "Oh, it tastes like rotten eggs." It's like, what are you doing? Like, I
And
get
you're
it.
addicted
Obviously,
to
it's
that?
no, but like, here's like, it is like a mental disorder. Like,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, but it's like, so it's like she's not eating it because of the taste. She's probably eating it because like it brings her closer to her husband. And it's
The
like,
thing with that addiction, go ahead,
no, it's like
finish.
that. That's what needs to be dealt with. Is like your, I don't know if it's like separation anxiety from the husband or
Some
like what.
psychological thing.
Yeah, but it's not
Something
necessarily.
psychological probably needs to be dealt with.
Some people
Yeah.
I feel like to deal with the, hey, you need to stop eating ashes, and not like, why are you eating ashes?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Some people, yeah.
But she'll
I
like stick
understand
her
that.
finger in her mouth, like lick her finger, and then dip her finger so it all sticks to it. Crazy shit.
The thing about that is like there's a finite amount. What is she gonna do
That
when she
yeah.
when she runs out and she needs to get her fix? Like, is she gonna
Mm-hmm.
just go burn someone alive and get the collect the ashes? She can't just randomly go get random ashes.
And then what if the new person doesn't taste like spoiled eggs?
Imagine she's paying for John Doe ashes, right? Like she just
Mm-hmm.
goes to like some crematorium or whatever, and she literally is like, "I will give you $500 for the next person that's unclaimed to give me all their ashes." I mean, as someone who cremates people, I would obviously take the deal because
Really?
otherwise I get no money out of it.
No,
Like,
but I
yeah, I'm
think
just
I think cremation people make like decent money.
yeah, but still, I would just take the extra money. Why would I say no? What else? What do I gain from not doing it?
That's fair.
But like, I would obviously be asking myself tons of questions about this person. You know, maybe I would do some research to see who they are, and if I found the My Strange Addiction thing, I'd be like, all right, let's just do it. Let's give her addiction thing. But otherwise, it definitely sounds like it's for nefarious purposes, right? Like you're gonna sprinkle some ashes on a crime scene and be like, this is the DNA of the guy,
Yeah.
or some shit like that. I don't know.
That would
That's
be
weird as
crazy.
shit. Weird as shit. I don't know. That one, I'm
Um
glad I never saw that one. I'd be weird. I'm already
disgusting.
weirded out by it.
Did you see the one guy who was in a relationship with his car?
No, I
That
told you
one.
I've seen one episode exactly, and it's the
Well, I
gasoline
don't
one.
know if that's My Strange Addiction or some other one. But
Okay.
he was in a relationship. One guy was in a relationship with a roller coaster, and the other guy
I
was in his relationship with his car.
I have heard of. I don't remember the name, but I know there is a condition where like you do fall in love with inanimate objects or like things that are not alive. I don't know.
Listen, at this point, I
So
think I need to develop that condition.
yeah.
I need to fall in
Oh, are
love
we
with
good to
him.
talk about this on pod?
What, my hinge
Yeah.
tragedy? I don't care.
I was banned. I was
You
when we
were?
started pod. You said that we could not talk about Hinge
Oh,
or your dating life
did
or
I?
that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Well,
at this
hey,
point,
new
I
season.
don't.
This is the official. I didn't. I wasn't sure if it was a new season or not.
New season. I don't give
New
a
season's of
fuck.
pod. We don't give a fuck. We're gonna talk about anything.
I
This
actually
leads right into
sent. I
the
actually
first
sent.
point of our agenda.
I know. 30 minutes in, I sent someone a like yesterday, and it was like she was like, one of my goals is to be a hot milf, and I told her that we can get married, have a kid, and then she can get divorced, and then go on MILF Manor season 25 when it comes out.
That's hilarious. And I hope that you said that exactly like that.
I did.
Except what I would have said is, I'll put a baby in you.
That's crazy. I wouldn't be caught dead saying that to someone.
I don't know. Who cares what the opening line is? I mean, to be honest, all you have to do is pique their curiosity, and I
Yeah.
stand by. I think a lot of your stuff now is creative, so I stand by. There's something fucked up about your specific profile.
He
I
really
don't
thinks
think these
something's
girls are
bugged.
seeing all of it. I think something's bugged. I
Listen,
swear to fucking God.
maybe one podcast we'll do a Hinge account review, and we'll go through my profile.
Yeah, that won't be today though. We don't have time. We have a whole
Yeah.
agenda
Yeah.
that we haven't talked about.
I know none of it. We're 30
Uh,
minutes in. We haven't
I
gone
mean,
through
hey,
our
who cares?
agenda.
I mean, this is what we want to do. We want
Yeah.
more stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
There's no dead air. Like usually when I'm listening to it back, there's like
Mhm.
times where like just neither one of us is talking as we're thinking about
And
what
then
to
we're
say
like,
next.
moments from history.
Yeah, so we need to get it flowing and stuff.
Yeah.
I like what we just did here.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
We could probably do the whole fucking episode like this, but we should talk about actual stuff.
Yeah.
So one, we're back. We're actually back finally. All right.
For
It was a
realsies
long
this time.
time. There was a lot of shit going on for both of us. We still have lost some assets. I think
Mhm.
now we actually do share an Adobe account, so hopefully there's some sort of cloud thing so we can actually work on.
I think
the
they
same stuff
actually
at the same
just
time.
removed the cloud.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
Did they just do that? Oh
Yeah.
fuck me.
I do think
Good
it's funny.
start.
I do think it's funny that we were uploading. It was like May 2020, episode 34 was March 2024. Then we took a 2-month break. It was May 2024. Then we took a month break. It was June 2024, and that episode's title is "We're Back. Dead hard drives can't stop us forever," and that was our last one.
And they still haven't stopped us forever. We're actually back.
True.
No, but we both have a renewed determination for this. One, Vinny has it on good authority that he's going to pop off this year or next year.
Or next year.
We're giving it a 2-year buffer.
Yeah.
So it might be 2025 or 2026 might be the year of the bat. Okay. I don't know where that is in the zodiac. I know we're in like the snake now. My birth year was the horse. I know there's not really a bat.
I was an ox.
You know, for anyone here that knows it. I know there's a dragon one, and I wish I was born in that year.
Yeah.
I can't believe I fucking wasn't. I should know all of them from Jackie Chan Adventures. Every single one of the Zodiac was one of the talismans. It was a great show. That would be a great rewatch and review. Remember that segment that we only did one time?
Did we?
Modern Family.
That's the only one we ever
did you never finish it?
I never finished it.
Well, Modern Family was a long ass show. We really should have picked a shorter show for the first one.
That's true.
There were 20 episode seasons or 24 episode seasons, and they had like 9 of them.
I was moving while I was watching it, and then when I got here, I never finished it. I think I watched like an episode when I got here, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I finished it. So let's go ahead and count it as completed.
There you go.
It'd be easier if we did movies. Not gonna lie. Like
or like a 12 to 24 episode anime. Like nothing
or we gotta do season by season if it's like a show, and we have to commit to like once per month. If we're gonna go to the podcast, we haven't even talked about this like offline. If we're gonna do podcast every other week, or how often we're gonna do it, once a month to start. I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, me too.
I like doing the podcast. There's always news coming out, and we can always bullshit about random stuff. Because part of like our agenda here, how are we gonna improve pod? What we're doing right now, it's an improvement, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think both of us, without really talking about it, we're both like, we're kind of boring. but
Fair.
now we're not. It's the year of the bat. Or next year's the year of the bat, but he's on the rise. Diamond in the rough, whatever the hell the streaming award is.
It's the daily games.
It's the fucking daily games, man.
Like literally, I'm not kidding. I'll have like
that should be your big titty of the week.
That's true. Sometimes I'll be streaming. I'll have like 2 viewers. I'll say the word daily game. I'll pop up to like 7. I'll start playing daily games. I'll go up to like 12. And when I say daily games,
crazy. I've actually watched this happen. I didn't think it was real at first.
For those who don't know, daily games are like your like Wordle games, but like I'll play like One Piece Duel, Naruto. Sometimes my favorite one is there's 2. There's Time Guesser and Chrono Guesser or Chrono Photo. And you have to, for Time Guesser, you have to guess like the year the picture was taken and where in the world it was taken. Chrono Photo, it's just the year. So we as a chat like that one, because some people like who play daily games online, I've noticed like will like X out chat, but I play it with chat because I'm bad. Like sometimes I'll see a picture, I'm like, this is the 1960s and it's the 20s.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things. I mean, that one is like you're like investigating clues.
Yeah.
Like you're zooming in on the picture, like what is this language that I can see in this one piece of paper on this desk in the far corner?
Yeah.
So that one's a fun one to watch. The other ones, it's like based on your knowledge. One Piece Duel is a little bit more fun because it's so many characters. Naruto too, but then when you go to like Pokedel, if it's only the first 151, I think they literally have half a year of content.
Yeah.
I think they're going to because once you do all 151.
Yeah.
Are you gonna you should expand it, and you should expand it to be other characters in the anime. I think personally, right? Yeah. So you like can start with a Pokemon, and then the first category is like Pokemon or non-Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then you can go based on that. But obviously, like and you can always get it on the first guess. I mean, sometimes you get really close. I'm sure some people have randomly just lucked into it.
What were we doing the other day in fucking Naruto? You were on stream, and I got Kurenai in 2.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I got it in 3 because your first guess was my second guess.
Yeah.
My first guess was a male. It was female. My second guess was Tsunade, and then we went down to Kurenai. I think your first guess was Tsunade.
I will generally do Tsunade first, and I have a method to my madness because with Tsunade, you can generally, like obviously if someone just showed up in like the Sasuke retrieval arc, which is the last arc before the time skip, with Tsunade you can determine if it's male or female, and if or like, because like I think a tailed beast says other, so sometimes it fucks you up. But you can determine if it's male or female, and you can determine if it's pre-time skip, post-time skip. So usually I go with Tsunade other than like some male because there are less females in Naruto. So that makes my other guesses then more powerful.
Yeah.
Same thing with One Piece. I'll try to do someone like right around the time skip who debuted.
Yeah.
Although for some reason fucking Sentomaru isn't on the game. And he would be like the perfect character because he shows up right before time skip.
Literally right before.
Yeah.
Kuma shows up too early. You could do Kizaru.
Does he show up in the archipelago?
Stabody.
Yeah.
Stabody. That's his initial reveal. I forget what the category is called, like first appearance or something. Yeah, that's him. Well, crazy. The Silver's I'm still pissed about the Silver's Rayleigh thing.
Yeah, because he showed up in like a flashback.
8.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like him. It doesn't even look like his current character. Like it looks nothing like him. It doesn't even look like what he looks like in the flashbacks now.
Yeah.
And we've seen from when he met Roger for the first time, he looked the same as he does now. So like, what happened in that like 2-year span?
He was
he just
through
got totally
a
fucked up and
midlife
ugly.
crisis and died.
He
his
got
hair
stung
black.
by some like jellyfish or something. It was like a 2 years of suffering while the ship doctor was healing him.
Yeah.
The badass ship doctor. I always forget about him. I always forget that he was part of Roger's crew. And then when I was rewatching it, waiting for season 2, which season 2 is now finished filming, which is another piece of news. That's good. I just dropped it. We're not going to talk more about it. Season 2 finished filming. Good stuff. Good stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, if we want to talk about One Piece, that's not on here because I could talk for hours about One Piece. Like we would need a whole new episode just for One Piece because of all the manga stuff.
I did see that they announced that there's going to be a Lego set for the live action. And I think I'm going to buy my first Lego set.
Did you see what Oda said about it?
What?
Oda said that like his whole life he's built Legos, and since he conceptualized One Piece, he's wanted a Lego collab, and it's finally happening. I can't believe that it wasn't powerful enough to get a Lego collab before now.
My one concern
that is crazy.
Is it's going to be Mary, and because it's live action collab, not anime collab, it's going to be the ugly Mary. I'll still buy it, but...
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I mean... It's ugly, but it's not. I mean, it's as realistic as they're gonna get. Like, it's live action. It can't just look like an actual like sheep's head or goat's head just mounted onto the front. You know, I think live action has done a good job, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think I might try and do a Lego building stream. Like, try and get a setup out there on my kitchen table and do a Lego building stream. I think would be fun.
I mean, if anything, you could just like zoom your camera in and do it on your bed right behind you. Like if you really had to. But like your mic is so sensitive, you need to be screaming at the top of your lungs.
Well, I can probably change the sensitivity.
You could, or I don't know how you would do this, but you can probably stream with your phone as the mic. Or you could get, you know they have for like the TikTokers,
mics,
you can get those fucking mics
the
and you
magnets,
can just connect it Bluetooth. Yeah, so if you're gonna do like if it's gonna take you a lot of streams, which is definitely gonna take you more than one, if you've never built Lego before, these things take fucking forever. I think that you should get one of those mics. I think they're not that expensive.
No, I see one that's like $92.
I'm sure there are cheaper ones than that though.
Oh, well, this one comes
like
with
that's probably a nice one.
Yeah,
because that's like the same price as like some of these like fucking XLR mics we use like in professional streaming setups.
Well, see, so I don't know because this one is USB Type C, so I think you plug it.
That's charging.
Oh, I thought you plug it into here and then you stream from your phone.
It could be like that. I think some are Bluetooth, but I mean, at the very least, it has to charge, right?
Yeah,
like
true.
It's not just infinite battery. Otherwise, we've come very far as a civilization and no one's talking about it.
Yeah, it comes with one charging case. No, so yeah, it says one charging case, 2 button-sized mic, and then 1 audio receiver, USB Type C.
USB Type C audio receiver. That could mean a plug into your computer and not into the. So you can probably plug it in.
Yeah, I think I have.
You can plug it in your phone, but you can probably since you have a newer computer, you can probably plug it into a USB-C port and it'll work.
Yeah.
I imagine they also have a Bluetooth mic somewhere that might be even more expensive, but like, yeah, we can find one for you.
Yeah.
We'll use the funds from the pod from our sponsor, Nobody and Vinny Salad.
My salad. It was pretty good. I finished it.
Yeah. It's being digested. Pretty soon it's gonna turn into poop, and then that'll be our sponsor.
I'm not gonna
next
lie.
episode.
Yesterday I had a lot of. Have you ever had this candy? It's my new favorite candy I've ever had in my life. It's
waiting for this big reveal here.
Nerds gummy clusters. You ever had?
I've heard that these are good. I've heard they're good.
I had so many yesterday. I have a little bit of a stomach ache.
Nerds, the base nerds are disgusting. They're trash.
Are so good.
So they finally figured out how to make them good and rebrand them. And I've heard that the Nerds gummies are really good.
It's like the nerds that you hate, but then they're surrounding a gummy.
Mm-hmm.
The
gummy just makes it all better, I guess.
I brought it to my friend yesterday because I was driving him to the airport at 3 a.m. So I slept over there, and he was like, "What have you done to me?" He's like, "These are so good." I was like, "I'm sorry." Because fun fact, he was like, Can you go to Walgreens and buy me my girlfriend's birthday card? He was like, I'll FaceTime you, but so I can choose it. But can you go and buy her card?
It's just like that app for like helping blind people shop.
Yeah.
You heard about that one? I mean,
I was that
he
guy.
basically pretended that you were a blind person and you were
Yeah.
shopping for
Yeah.
your fictional girlfriend, and then he was going to steal the card from you
Mm-hmm.
as he helped you.
I did feel very weird. I was like, damn, I'm checking out a romantic card. I've never done that once in my life.
Well, it's coming at some point in your life. I'm confident that you will
Listen, maybe the MILF Manor comment will
connect
make a
with.
match.
Well, I
Who
mean,
knows?
maybe you know what? Maybe you know so much about MILFs. Maybe you should just target MILFs.
I thought about
Download
that.
it. We gotta go on a different. We gotta find you a different app, not Hinge.
Or I
you
just
gotta
changed my
expand
age
your
range.
date range.
Yeah.
Date range. Your age range. Date range. I'm thinking about work and reporting. Oh my god. Yeah, change the age range. No, seriously.
My age range is
not even
5
kidding.
years older than I am.
I'm not even kidding. Make it 20 years older.
That's crazy. I
Like,
don't want to date a
just-
MILF.
No, they're cougars. They're not MILFs.
Oh,
If they don't have kids, they're cougars, and some of them are smoking hot.
that's true.
Just give them a chance, man. I wonder if in your area that's the demographic, and you know that they would match you. If you don't get a match from one of these women that are like 20 years older than you, and they don't want like a young virile man who can please them left and right,
Mm-hmm.
then I know there's something wrong with your goddamn profile, and
No, but
we're
that's the
gonna
thing.
redo
That's
it
the
from
thing
scratch.
is I get likes. I just
I'm
get
sure that it's not
likes
like-
from people I find unattractive.
I'm sure it's not in some black hole where no one can see your profile. I just think that it doesn't have the same penetration or reach in like your general area that it should.
Maybe.
No one. I've never heard of anyone that has as bad of luck on these apps. And I know some pretty ugly fucking people, okay? I guarantee you. Like, objectively, no homo at all. Like, no, like, I'm not personally physically trying to have sex with you.
That's disrespectful.
You're not. I
You
don't think
should
you're a
be.
bad looking person.
Thank
I
you.
think you're a good looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's no fucking way that you've had zero connections on this app. I don't fucking believe it. I think that we're probably at like we're like equal in the scale, I would think. I had no issue with the app.
I don't know, man.
Like, I had many conversations, I had many dates. I'm telling you, there's something fucked up with your specific profile. I think there's a bug.
I got a survey today on Hinge when I opened it, and it was like, how satisfied are you with this app? I said extremely dissatisfied.
Good, and you better have left the comment. 0 connection so far, and I've been on this app for 2 years or however long it was. I don't know if it's really been 2 years.
I think it's been, honestly, I think
You should even, and you have fucking professionals helping you basically. Like,
It might
me
be
and Olive
it might be 5
are
years.
essentially professionals. It's not 5 years. There's no
I
way.
think so.
I don't think so.
I think I went to South Padre Island in 2020, and that's when I made it. Or
Okay, well, then it's been
2021.
4 years.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then it's 3 to 4 years because
Yeah.
we just started 2025.
Yeah.
And you had multiple people review this profile.
Yeah. And there were 3 girls on the trip too who went with us when we made it, and they were like this is a good profile.
And I'm pretty sure at my wedding, people were helping you.
Yeah.
You probably don't.
Well,
remember, but
I was
people were
very
helping you.
drunk.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. That's further in the agenda, people. All right. What time are we at?
48
I really gotta
minutes.
start. 48 minutes. All right. I'm gonna reign this episode as the taskmaster of this episode since we alternate. We gotta rein this shit in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you've liked the conversation so far. Obviously, we'll do more of this because it's been awesome. How will we improve pod? Let's go back to that. We never really talked much about it. What we just did. We'll try to do some segments. We want more feedback from people. And now that I have renewed like drive, I'm gonna make sure that my Discord is set up. We'll connect like pod and stuff like that. We will figure out how to make improvements and stuff. But in general, I think we just needed more energy, and I think we got it.
Yeah.
And we're both reinvigorated. We've had enough time away.
Because one
we're
of my
both, like,
things,
feeling streaming a little bit more, I think, even.
yeah, one of my things that I felt was listening back to some of the podcasts, and I'm sure if anyone's listening, they feel the same. Is old episodes felt very newsy, where it was like big titty of the
Yeah.
week time. This is mine, and then he was like, "This is mine," and I would be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then we would be like, "Okay, next segment," and it was
I
very
think
like
we did, yeah.
cookie
To
cutter.
that point, yeah, and it was also like my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. This is like
Yeah.
more conversational. We need more conversational.
Yeah,
So if we have a big titty, like we should probably like just maybe we need to do things a little bit more in advance and figure things out instead of just going fuck it, we'll do it live.
mm-hmm.
And we'll have things that we can talk about to each other on these things, and we can like practice it right in this episode. So get ready, guinea pigs. We're gonna be testing some stuff out. I do think I've also thought that like it was like 10 minutes of Vinny, 10 minutes of me, 10 minutes of Vinny, 10 minutes of me, and we didn't really have many conversations, which I think is what really builds good podcasts.
Yeah.
Having listened to exactly zero.
That's
more
what
for,
that was what I was gonna say for how can we improve. I listen to many podcasts.
Yeah, and
So,
I listen to zero.
yeah.
So on average, we average out to half of whatever
Yeah.
Vinny listens to.
So that's one thing that you listen. You've been going to the gym recently. Maybe you throw in a podcast.
Yeah, well, I take classes.
Oh,
so
well,
like,
maybe on your way
listen to the
there,
instructor.
maybe on your
There
way
and
back,
back,
you
yeah.
Bluetooth a podcast in your car.
There and back, yeah.
During
there and
work.
back again, a Bilbo Baggins story. Here we go.
How long is your trip?
To the gym?
Yeah.
To the gym, it's like 10 minutes.
Oh.
To work, it's like 2 hours on the train.
Yeah.
But I usually
that's
watch
anime time. But like
That's
at
anime
work.
time. At work, I could listen to it. Yeah. I should. And honestly, another thing, like, this is how driven I am. Fuck work. During work time, I'm going to be working on stream and pod. This week was really fucking busy because I kept saying I would set up this pod stuff and then I just had zero time. But I also had to drive my wife to the airport and like help her pack and do a bunch of other real life stuff. So
that's right,
more
folks.
That stuff
He
than
said
work stuff.
wife. Things have
That's right,
changed things have changed since the podcast has been a thing.
Yeah, when we first started the podcast, was I even dating Karina? I don't know. How long ago did we start this? We started this a long ass time ago.
We started
and we just took a lot of long breaks.
Our first episode published May 16, 2022.
2022. Okay, we were dating by then for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so but it was like new.
Yeah.
It was like new. Who knew if it was gonna last, go to distance, you know? Who knew if I was gonna be singing that song from Hercules, the Disney movie? But hey, we are.
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll get that. You know what? But I do want to. Yeah, we'll get that. Let's fuck it. Let's talk about that. We'll do Big Titty after. But anyway, how to improve pod done. We finished it. You know, that's what we're gonna do. We'll prove it to you guys. I know you have no trust, no faith left in us. And fuck you guys.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
What are our listeners called? We need to think of that.
Eventurers.
Eventurers, like adventurers, but
like adventurers, but it's eventually.
Yeah.
I just thought of that off the top of my head just now. I mean, our name doesn't make it very easy.
Yeah.
So I guess Eventurers sounds good to me.
All
right, good. There we go.
You guys are the Eventurers.
Fuck, we should have named that the Guild. We also play WoW together now, and we raid together.
Yeah.
That's not on this agenda either. And I named it Dark Eco, and then Guild Master title was stolen right from me.
Yeah, and then
not really stolen. I gave it up because I had a lot of shit.
And now it's Dark Echo.
It's still Dark Eco, and I hate it. All right. Another aside, our raid leader. So whoever doesn't really know, you have like a guild master who runs everything, and you have a raid leader who normally leads you in raid. Sometimes they're the same person. In our instance, they're cousins, but they're not the same person. The raid leader is so bad at grammar, and spelling, and I've called him out for it privately, and he's like just like laughs it off. He uses the wrong form of then. So like whenever he's saying like and then something happened, he types THAN.
Really? I don't know if I've noticed that.
Oh, watch it. Read it in the chat. I swear.
Yeah, I need to be on the lookout.
It drives me insane. I've told him about that one twice, and he just won't fix it. I mean, it's hard to fix. You're doing it your whole life.
Yeah.
But he's a manager at his job.
Really?
He has direct reports, and he types like this.
That's
How do
crazy.
I mean, there's no way his employees would say something, but does he not have managers that are saying like, hey, bro, take an English course.
We'll pay for it.
Seriously, like soft skills matter. He must not be client facing at all at his job. It drives me insane. That was totally on a side, but he calls it Dark Echo and stuff. He pronounces shit wrong all the time. It's based after Jack and Daxter. Dark Echo's a badass name. Look for us on World of Warcraft. If we have listeners that want to join,
please.
Fuck it, we'll get you in.
Yeah.
I'm
a tank.
So we do that together. Yeah, he's a tank.
Yeah. I used to be very scared.
You don't know what that means.
I'm still scared, but
tanks essentially lead the charge. They're essentially in charge of raid. Minus the raid leader, it's like if the tanks are saying to do something, that's what people do. So Vinny's got a lot of responsibility now. No, he's a grown ass boy now.
Yeah.
Big man in the guild.
That's what they call me.
That's what they call him. All right, so we do that now. There's a lot of stuff that happened off stream, and we'll talk about it over time. Off stream, there's a lot of stuff that happened between last pod and this pod. We'll talk about it over time because we got a segment called Moments from History. And the concept was we would talk about it like from 10, 15, 12 years ago whenever we met. But honestly, it can just be anything that fucking happens in our life, I think. Also, I'm saying fucking too much. Tough shit, but
listen,
maybe
we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored yet.
Also,
The
I'm
day
pretty
we get
sure.
sponsored, I'll clean up my language.
No, I'm pretty sure sponsors don't care as long as it's not in the first 30, or like YouTube won't demonetize you as long as it's not in the first 30 seconds. And then like sponsors themselves don't even care unless it's like in your segment of like reading out a sponsorship. So we're good.
Right, yeah, that's true. And I think they just really want you to try to tone it down because I've
Yeah.
seen some sponsorships recently on Twitch and YouTube and stuff where they say, "All right, I'm going into my sponsored segment. Everyone try not to curse."
Yeah,
Like, and they
yeah.
just say try not to curse. They don't say if you curse, I'm banning you or anything like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So I do think if you're reading out the card or whatever they want you to read out about like Marvel Rivals or whatever new game is coming out,
Mhm.
because that's the only example I really have. Yeah, as long as it's during that segment and you're just talking about the factoids that they want you to impart upon your audience, then it's usually like when they don't want you to curse. I get that.
Yeah.
And working in advertising, I do have a little bit of extra insight onto like how strict people are being, how like which brands.
Well, can you get us a
particularly
goddamn
are more
sponsorship
family
then?
friendly. No, I can't use my connections that way. I put it for like 6 months in my Twitch. I mean, not my Twitch. In my Slack status that I stream on Twitch, I got 0 new followers from work.
Damn.
So it's not working wonders. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe one day. I mean, if I start getting a little bit popular, then yeah, I could probably actually do it. I
Mhm.
probably could use those connections somehow, but I need to have more than like 3 concurrent viewers at once, you know. So where are we gonna? Oh, we're doing moments from history. So 2 things happened. Well, many things happened, but like here are some
2
2
main
things. One, we
things.
met IRL.
Yes, sir.
We met IRL twice.
Yeah.
Once for the bachelor party, once for the wedding. I have a lot of stories from there, but I kind of want to see Vinny's perspective here on his telling of these stories. Might be a lot more funny
Really?
for some
So
people.
yeah, I mean like I remember the wedding night more than the bachelor party night, and that's just because
bachelor
it's
party
more
was a couple.
recent. Yeah.
Let's clarify this. Bachelor party was a couple nights. There was one night where there was big drinking happening.
Yeah.
So there was one night where both of us were really drunk at the same time.
Yeah.
And then at the wedding, I actually wasn't drunk at all for reasons I will tell you about when we get to the wedding part.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a video somewhere on my phone of me singing "You Heard It Here" eventually drunk at the 4th bar we went to during the bachelor party.
Remember, I forgot that we had done that. We had recorded and
Yeah,
called people, and
yeah.
and you said like you heard it here, and I went eventually.
Yeah. So
Something like that.
if I have them, put them right here in the video. That's
Or
for me later.
we'll start using Twitter.
Oh yeah,
more.
true.
I'm on, and I don't know if we want to make like a Blue Sky
We
account
can,
or
yeah.
whatever. Because I remember how we were saying fuck Elon.
True.
But
fuck that guy.
we just need to be on Twitter though. That
Yeah.
one I'll still use Twitter.
Yeah.
So
And I'm
I
still
won't
gonna
buy a
call it
Tesla
Twitter.
now.
I'm not gonna call it X. God damn
Dude,
it.
the X thing is so fucking stupid. Still, we talked about this before. Every time you see it somewhere, it says X and then in parentheses, formerly Twitter.
Yeah.
So its real full name is now X parentheses formerly Twitter.
I
Like,
think he wants it to be
It's
X.
so bad.
X the everything app where you can literally do everything on it, and it's so stupid. He wants it like he was live streaming on it. Also, gaming news with Elon. Apparently, his Path of Exile
yeah.
account is not even him half the time.
Yeah.
Like he has
He's
someone in like
boosted.
some like Asian country logs into his account and does his account for him to get it up.
I saw the best reaction to this. Someone was like, Elon Musk had one of his companies put like that builds rockets, put a car that another company of his builds onto the rocket and then shoot it into space. Why does he also need these gaming credos? Like he clearly has done a lot in his life. And also, not to talk well of this man at all, to be honest, because of some of the more recent developments, which we won't go into politics on the pod yet. I don't really care if we do, but I feel
we won't go
not
into
yet,
politics,
maybe.
but all I'm saying is it's been a week and planes are falling out of the sky. That's all
and
I'm gonna say.
And I'm also along the side of when you compare the videos of some of the things that were done up on stage to the videos of some people that cover their face because they're too embarrassed to show their face because they know that they'd be ridiculed mercilessly. It's 1 in 1. It's literally an identical motions and stuff. So
yeah,
I don't support that stuff. But you know, Elon as a person outside of his personality and stuff, like as just like his existence and his companies, they have made some crazy improvements and stuff. Starlink, like bringing internet to remote places of the world and stuff. He's done some good stuff. Like his companies, I should say, have done some good stuff. Obviously, since he's the CEO, he's done some good stuff. But holy hell, where the hell were we when we started this? Because we're gonna be on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say we could tweet out that video. So we just need to. I mean, you have access to the account. I have access. I'm supposed to be the one tweeting funny stuff.
Yeah.
We can both do it. No one will ever know which one of us is tweeting, but I mean, it's probably me.
Yeah.
So we can also do Blue Sky and some other socials. We'll figure that out over time. Now that we're reinvigorated.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
bachelor
continue your
party,
story.
when did that happen month wise?
That
Wedding was November. It was September.
September, yeah.
So
Early September.
So I flew in from Myrtle Beach. Most people I feel like drove down, or some people.
No,
drove down.
most people flew. It
Oh,
was
really?
like the only people that drove were really me, my best man Bobby, and our other friend Kevin, who was another groomsman, and then our guild master Lewis.
Yeah, that's where I met him.
He drove in, but our other friend Harrison Smelly, aka Sean, he flew in to close to Lewis, and then they drove together.
Yeah, that's
because
what it was.
Lewis lives in. I always forget. He's right by the border. It's either North or South Carolina. I think he lives technically in South Carolina, so he lives right on the border of both. So he was only like a 2-hour drive away from Myrtle Beach. So they just flew in and then drove together.
Also, I don't know if we said this on the pod. This man asked me to be a groomsman while I was streaming in my chat.
I think we definitely did say
We
that.
did?
And yes, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
That shit was
Of
so
course I did.
funny.
I mean, that's how that's how our relationship essentially exists.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're obviously really, really good friends, and I don't think that there's anything that means that you have to be IRL friends
Yeah.
to be really good friends. So, especially not in today's world. So, I think it was like very fitting that I asked you that way, to be honest. It was just a little bit more public, I guess, than some people would like.
Yeah, which I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been more embarrassing for me if you said no.
That would be funny. Nah, I'm busy that day. But yeah, so I flew into Myrtle Beach. And they all had the Airbnb, and then I had a very nice conversation with my Uber driver, who I didn't take a single one of her recommendations. I don't think. She was like telling me all these places I got to check out. I'm like, listen, ma'am, I'm just here, and I'm here to have a good time, and that's it. But yeah, so we played fucking like 72 holes of mini golf that weekend.
Yeah. So I love mini golf. That was still even a lot for me, but I'm always down for mini golf.
Yeah, it was fun. So yeah, we did that. We played. My favorite part of the weekend was bar golf, pub golf, whatever you want to call it.
Bar golf. Yeah.
And basically, you go to a set amount of locations. In each location, you have to do certain tasks. And you get points based on that. And whoever was a loser has to do Edward 4 loco hands or something.
Yeah.
That didn't end up happening.
Well, the loser was someone who left early and passed out on the porch, unable to get into the Airbnb.
Which I won't post a picture of this, but I do have a picture of him in his boxers, face down in the toilet.
Yeah, we will not post that yet.
Yet.
I won't post it yet. All right. If I ever totally remove that person from my life, then we may post it. We may go back and be like, hey, remember episode 37? Well, here's the picture. From
also, right outside her fucking Airbnb one night, there was shots fired.
Oh yeah, and then the same person that was passed out, who saw nothing because he was actually in the back, ran forward and told the cops he saw everything, and then had to give like 2 hours worth of statements.
He was writing his statements as in like, suspect A reached for his gun, suspect B was saying things to suspect A.
And to give some background on this person, no one can understand a thing that he says in general usually. Like, he has very bad grammar, so when he texts stuff out, you can't really tell exactly what he's saying, and when he's speaking, you can't understand. It's like he's speaking almost a different language, but you can tell it's English, but you can't tell exactly what he's saying. So he gave a statement to the police like this, and he was just his normal self. So I don't know how the cops took any of that information and did anything with it. But yeah, that was crazy. There was shots fired, and then we have like one friend
who's just standing in the doorway.
And like our other friend is like, get back, and he's like looking back, and he's like what? And then he like looks back, he tries to take a step out, and the friend's like, no, and he's like, oh, were those shots? Yes, that was gunshots. Get your ass back in the house. What the hell?
And we were just casually watching Iron Man 3 while this gunfight was happening.
And then the cops were up on the porch just talking to this one dude while we continued to watch Iron Man 3. And also we had in the first floor there were some arcade games, and one
Those
of them
were
was
sick.
one with the guns. And the guys that were playing it were like afraid to use it because they were like, oh my god, the cops might come in and be like, we're armed. So they stopped playing until the cops came in and saw the machine.
So yeah, then the bar golf was the crazy night where we went to South Myrtle Beach, had a bunch of preset locations and had to do certain stuff there. And I got fucked up. And I didn't get as fucked up as I think I was more fucked up at the wedding.
Oh yeah.
I don't drink that
100%.
often. Just to clarify. But when I do, I like to have a good time. So like I don't know. I just remember from specifically the bar golf, or yeah, whatever. It was just drink after drink, and when I get drunk, I like to FaceTime people. I don't know why. It's just my favorite thing to do. I love it. So I'm FaceTiming people from Illinois. I'm like introducing people that I don't even know. Like I just met some of these people like a day ago, and I'm like, this guy's cool as fuck.
Mm.
And
I mean, I'm biased, but I think most people there were cool as fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it tracks.
yeah. But yeah, so then I didn't puke that night. There was some puking from others in our kitchen sink. That was fun.
Oh yeah, God. Gross.
I think we watched anime, one episode of Historia. But I don't know if that was that. I don't think it was that night, but that was that.
No,
weekend.
that was the last night.
Yeah,
that was the next night. Yeah, the gunshot night, I think actually.
Yeah. But yeah, that was overall a good weekend. Do you have any specific thoughts from it? Did you have any preconceptions of me that were confirmed or denied when you met me IRL?
I guess there was one that was confirmed. It was just that, like, when you first got in, you did look a little like nervous and like anxious for meeting all the new people.
That's fair.
And I could tell from how you were talking so fast to me and like some of the things, like your reactions. Like I was like, "Oh, everything good," and you're like, "Yeah."
Did I do
everything
that?
was good. Yeah, you're like, "Yeah, everything was great. Everything was great." Yeah, like I was like,
don't
"All
remember
right."
that.
So I let you like go put your bag away, and you settled down. You got in kind of late. You were the last one, so
Yeah.
you showed up I think like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The first night, no one was really drinking like heavily. We have a couple of really big drinkers in that group. They were drinking. They were like the only ones trying to do that beer wall.
Yeah.
The beer can wall. So it was really just that. Just like all right, yeah, so he does get a little nervous like when he's first meeting people. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't really.
Yeah.
So it's just more obvious in your persona for the first like 20 to 30 minutes of you meeting someone, I think.
That's fair.
But I kind of had a feeling that you were like that based on just knowing you for, a decade or so.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. Otherwise, like, yeah, everything was like basically everything I knew about you.
Yeah. We summoned
Cool,
summoned
chill.
in Dokkan live. I got shit as per usual.
I think I got shit too.
Yeah.
Then, like, in that moment. And now it's the anniversary going on and we're still getting shit. So fun times. And now we have another game that where we get shit. Pokemon TCG.
Yeah. That game's fun.
I love when I pull shit in that one.
I just like that. Yeah, you can at least do 2 a day, which is nice.
3 if you do the premium.
Yeah,
which I do because I want to make sure I have them all the cards.
Yeah,
I just like collecting, so I want to get all the cards. We're not like some of the whales that we know who have every single crown card, which is I have 0 crown cards.
Me
Crown
too.
cards are the gold versions.
Yeah.
Everyone else I know except Vinny has a crown card. It's like we're the only 2 that don't.
Yeah.
I've never even seen a god pack. Like not in Wonder Pick or in my own game.
Yeah.
I just have really bad luck with that. So.
But yeah, so that was the TLDR of the bachelor party. Unless I'm forgetting something, which I might.
I mean, I remember there was that challenge where like I was one of the only people that didn't have a hole in one. It was my bachelor party.
Yeah.
I was the only like I think I was literally the only person in the whole group out of like was it 12, 16 people or something?
It was a big bachelor party.
That did not have a hole in one. So we went out one last time and some people were going to skip it. But then we had the stipulation that if I didn't get a hole in one, there was going to be some sort of like punishment for me. I forget exactly what it was. And then we're at like this pirate themed one. There's a ship cannon going off and water spraying up.
And it was like real fire. Like it was hot. I was so shocked. Yeah.
In South Carolina, they have no rules.
Yeah.
And I totally fucking shank and hit one, and it goes around the whole course, but it bounces off of a rock in a weird way and goes right in the hole. And I just screamed at the top of my lungs, "Yeah!" And everyone had just gotten to the top where we were, so everyone was looking over me. He goes, "Oh, did you get the hole in one?" I was like, "Yeah." No one saw it except my group because no one was up here yet. But everyone else in the group confirmed the hole in one. I was like, "Oh, thank God, no punishment," because they would have followed through for me.
Oh yeah.
That would have been rough.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was the big thing. I forget. We did a lot of mini golf. Obviously, we never really went to the beach because it was all rainy.
Oh,
and
the
muggy.
pirate show was so fucking cool.
Oh, the pirate show. Yeah.
If
I was
y'all
trying to think like where did we eat? We did a show.
If y'all know medieval times, it's that but pirates.
It's actually way cooler because they do gymnastics and aerobatics more so.
And there's
than,
a fucking
like,
dancing sea lion, like real sea lion or sea otter. I don't know what the fuck it was. He was dancing.
And they bring people from the crowd up to do different games. And one of our guys
Yeah.
got picked, and some guy kept pouring water all over him because it's like the bucket thing where you pour it, like it's like a chain of people pouring water. And he was getting so mad at the guy that was pouring water on him that one time he just took the bucket and like splashed the guy back in his face and then ran over. But he was obviously seriously upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was funny because the guy that passed out on bar golf night was on the end of the aisle, and they skipped over him to go to our other friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think because the guy who passed out does look, he's tinier, so he like looks tiny and skinny and frail, I guess. And the guy sitting next to him, he's a little bit shorter, but he's been working out a ton, so he looks pretty jacked. So they probably were like, all right, this guy can handle some athleticism.
Yeah.
And this other guy looks like he would trip and fall and end up suing us.
That would be hilarious.
So
falls into the pool below.
yeah. But that show was amazing. If anyone goes there, it's just called Pirates or something.
It's like Pirates Treasure, Pirates Booty, something like that.
Pirates Treasure Cove. Yeah, I forget exactly. But there's also Medieval Times there. It's like right next to Medieval Times.
Yeah. If you look
But
up
if you
like
have
South
Dutch-
Myrtle Beach Pirate Show, it'll come up. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I would recommend that one way over the Medieval Times.
me
I mean,
too.
I have Medieval Times in Jersey, so I can go,
Yeah,
and
me
I've seen
too.
the show a couple of times. I think the Pirate Show is hands down way cooler.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water stuff. There's a lot of like gymnastics going between poles. There's a lot of like actual feats of strength, and not just people sitting. Not people that learned horse riding and sword fighting. They're people that learned like gymnastics and real conditioning and like I don't know, just actual feats of strength. It was very, very cool.
Mm-hmm. So then a couple months later, it's wedding
November.
time. Yeah. So
And
this
this
was
is down in Mexico.
Mexico, and this was my first time. Besides, like I went to Italy when I was like 2, so I don't really count that. But this was like my
Back to his
first time
roots.
going to out of the country, and yeah, it was a much smoother process than I envisioned. I
Well,
thought
it is a vacation destination, so
Yeah.
it helps. Flew into Cancun.
yeah. I had a
in
fucking
Playa del Carmen.
I had a private car all to myself because no one. The rule was like you'll only be placed with people from the wedding, and no one flew in when I did, I guess, and no one was leaving when I did. So both times I went, I just had like a fucking private chauffeur basically.
Mm.
And that was awesome. The resort was fucking crazy. I'd never been to an all inclusive like that before.
Yeah, all inclusive, anything, all you can eat and drink, basically free.
Yeah, that was
And
crazy.
you can go to, there are tons of bars all over, so you can always get a drink if you want.
And yeah, so then I think I only drank like 2 of the nights. I only got fucked up one night. You got fucked up the other night.
I got fucked up the other night. Yeah, the 2 nights of drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, so those nights were, the first one was, we also, before we get to the fun stories, we also did some cool shit. We had the excursion to Tulum, and then we went to the fucking cenotes. Those were cool as shit.
It did rain, and I didn't have any aqua shoes, so my feet walking on the rocks hurt like hell. But the cenote was cool. The cenote is like, so it's like a natural, I don't know, little like cove thing where the water builds up, and a lot of them are interconnected between caves. So like you go into one, and then they're like, all right, let's go in the cave, and you go in the fucking cave, and it's totally dark, but you're swimming and you're floating under the water, and you come out in a totally different one. And it's like this interconnected system, but they have to have obviously people that go in and map it out.
Yeah,
the tourists going in on their own would just die.
And there was cliff jumping there. That was like I'm gonna give myself props. I didn't think I was gonna do it looking at it, and I did every single one.
Well, once you do one,
yeah,
it's like the roller coaster effect, or like anything that's adrenaline inducing, right? It's scary when you look at it and people describe it, and like you don't know if you can do it, and then you go on one, you realize that it's totally safe and it's fun, and it's like, my life has changed.
Well,
from this moment on, my life.
I'm gonna be honest. I was concerned because my swim trunks, even when I tie them, they're a little baggy around the waist, and I was so scared that when I jumped in the water, because it was like 16 feet in the air. One was 12 and one was 16, I think. I was so scared that like when I jumped, they were gonna slide off, and I was just gonna be fucked. What do you mean, so what?
And all the women are like, "Damn,
then
why
are
are
like,
we not hopping all over this?"
They're like, what is that? Kind of squint.
They're busting out their microscopes that they obviously carry on them.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
so. That was sick. And then for the fun stories, the first one was the night that he got fucked up, and that was
the welcome party.
Yeah,
that was the welcome party. The night before that, we did have another event that was just the rehearsal dinner. You remember that? Yeah. That was just like a little. They shut down one of the restaurants for us, and we had like some tables to ourselves, a preset meal. It was good food.
Yeah.
And so that was just a normal night. Some people like went out drinking after. I think we went out. We went out after and just kind of hung out. And then the next night was the day of the excursion, which I had. I had a problem on the day of the excursion. There was some almost like fishbone like thing that was in the cheese. I don't know what it was, but it got stuck in my throat.
Oh,
right
I
here,
remember. Yeah, you're saying
right
that,
under my
yeah.
Adam's apple. For anyone who's listening to this on whatever doesn't see the video, and it was like horizontal, so it was scratching my throat, and it wouldn't fucking move, and it hurt so bad. I was afraid that like I was gonna have to go to the emergency room because I thought that it was tearing my throat to shreds,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was gonna have to go get like it surgically removed or something. Every once in a while, it would feel like it had gone away, and then like 20 minutes later, it's back.
Damn.
It was so painful. It was so annoying all day. I still had fun at the excursions and stuff. It was gone by the cenote. It finally went away in Tulum when we're looking at the pyramids and these like God, ruins or relics or
Yeah.
whatever you'd call it.
Those
There's
are
like
really cool.
iguanas all over, sitting
Mhm.
around. A bunch. It's right by the beach. It was awesome. But that whole time we're walking around in the blazing sun, my throat is like it feels like there's blood all over my, like I feel like my throat must have been bleeding. I don't know if it really was. I didn't like cough up blood or anything,
Mhm.
but that was that was so bad. Um,
No, and then
and then
like
at the
we also got like split into groups, so I was just like latching on to people that I didn't really know, but I was accepted as one. And
yeah,
now I'm not kidding. Every single person on my Instagram recommended is people from the wedding because other people from the wedding followed me. So it's like, oh, you have mutual friends. And every single person in my recommended still is New Jersey people, I assume.
just add them.
Well, I don't know all. Like I know some of them like, oh, I recognize this face, but like I didn't have a conversation with you, or like you
Mm,
probably don't know
who
me.
cares?
Type thing.
Who cares?
Yeah, I know.
You're following them on Instagram. I'm sure they'll just say yes. I very rarely say no to someone.
Yeah.
I recently made my Instagram, my personal Instagram, follow request instead of just open to followers.
Mine's follow request. Yeah.
I was just tired of all these like random like obvious bots or like the OnlyFans models trying to drum up their own business,
Mm-hmm.
like liking my photos and commenting on my shit.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I didn't realize it was such a problem. No wonder that people with more followers than me have their shit set to like request only.
Yeah.
So I finally made that change. My Dragon or Jack one I'm gonna leave open. I
Yeah,
don't care
'cause
how
who
many
cares?
bots or OnlyFans models follow me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I know I actually it was funny seeing you do this because I was like walking around with different groups too because
Well, because like
my wedding I
yeah,
know everyone.
I was just on the bus with like a group of people, and so I was like,
Yeah, the buses
yeah,
it was like whoever could fit on a bus somewhere
yeah.
like
So I was like,
get your ass in
I
that
don't know
seat.
anyone really here, so I guess I'll talk to y'all,
Yeah,
which is a big progress for me.
yeah.
Normally, if that was like high school me, I probably wouldn't have said a word the entire day
Mm-hmm.
unless
Yeah, no.
spoken to.
Yeah, I know for a fact. Like I remember even back then. You've come, you know, in your pants a long way.
True.
Uh, so I was impressed
Nocturnal
by you.
emission.
Moist anticipation, what have you. The um, oh my God, what was I gonna say now?
You were
Maybe lose
saying
track.
you were complimenting me. You said I was impressed by you.
Yeah. You're a very impressive specimen.
Yeah.
The thing that was, I guess, funny is I think the person you ended up settling on hanging out with the most, at least at the wedding, was like the tallest guy there.
Yeah. I
He was a volleyball player, one part of the volleyball
uh-huh.
crew,
Every time
and
I saw him, I would
you
point at him.
you guys might have been two of the drunkest people. 'Cause,
No,
like
but
you guys
then
were definitely
I don't
on
think
each other.
I ever told you this. I saw him at the airport
Oh,
as I
really?
was leaving.
Did you say anything to him?
Yeah, we said hi.
Oh,
It was like him and I assume like his girlfriend or something.
yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, I said hi to them, and then I had a flight to catch, so I parted ways.
Yeah. Oh, we kind of jumped ahead of ourselves. What was what I was talking
We
about?
you were
The welcome party.
yeah.
Yeah, the welcome party on the beach. It's like s'mores and stuff. That's when everyone was there. Like, so everyone that was invited to the wedding could come and show up. And I don't really drink a lot either. And since then, I'm like done drinking on it. Like, for one, it's unhealthy, like in general. So like you get fat from it. I'm trying to stop being fat. But it also, I don't know. I just don't like how I feel when I'm drunk. I don't like the after effects. I don't really get hungover, but I really feel like shit during. Like
Mhm.
I get to a point where I'm really nauseous and the room is spinning way earlier, I think, than most people.
Mhm.
I don't black out, but like it takes me hours to fall asleep because I just every time I lay down, the room spins and I feel like I got to go throw up and I'm just basically falling asleep near toilets. But anyway, that's how drunk I got at the welcome party. It started with like everyone, you got to do a shot with everyone. So I do a shot with everyone. Then my dad comes up and goes, "Oh, you did a shot without me." I was like, "Damn it." So I did one with my dad and my best man's dad, who's like my second father in life. I had them do it with me together, and then other people saw and were like, "Oh my God, Chris is taking a shot. He does it so rarely. Let's all do a shot with him." So I'm like 7 shots or 8 shots in of like tequila. And all of a sudden, like, I mean, Karina, my wife, my now wife, loses sight of me. And all of a sudden, she just hears me screaming from up top of the upstairs bar about how, yeah, let's go, or whatever. And then she starts ripping shots out of my hand, and people try to hand me more shots, and she rips it out of their hands. Her workout friends, in particular, were really, really egging me on and giving me a lot of shots. And by the time we had to leave, like, I barely could hold my vomit in for the golf cart ride back to our villa.
Didn't you
I threw up
puke in
outside
bushes?
the villa.
Yeah.
I threw up outside the villa. She had to like pick me up off the ground because I like fell down. And I ended up sitting like by the toilet for a really long time. I was like crying. I was so upset because it's the night before. It was literally the night before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I can't believe I ended up this fucked up the night before the wedding. Yeah, I'm such a
He
shitty
was
person.
he was out here screaming in Spanish. He was kissing men, myself included. He kissed me twice because fucking he kisses me, and then I FaceTime my roommate because again I was drunk, and then my roommate was like, "I bet you won't do it again," and he heard that, and then he kisses me again.
Yeah, that always starts because I don't know what it is about me, but I guess it's like my inner troll. I like making people feel uncomfortable when I know it's gonna make them feel uncomfortable. I don't think would feel too uncomfortable doing that, but one of my groomsmen, who I won't name, would definitely feel uncomfortable from that. So he's always the first target, and it's always like me and then my best man Bobby, like kind of holding his arms back, trying to get him. So like we always just try to get him, and then I just like at that point I'm just kind of lost, and I go off the rails, and then I'm like just caught up in the moment of it, and I just start going to other people and doing it. Obviously there have been people that have been like, "Oh my God, he might actually be gay." I'm not. I'll just confirm that right now. I'm not even remotely bisexual.
Didn't you say
It's
like
just
Karina's dad was like asking her like, "Oh, why is he kissing so many men
yeah.
today?"
Karina's dad was like, "What? Like, is he like is he
Is he
gay or something?
confused?
Is he confused? Yeah, like what's going on?" And she was like, "No, he's not. Trust me." So yeah, no, he did ask that. Because I didn't kiss him. I don't think. Like I may have kissed him on the cheek or something, and that may have been why he like realized I was kissing other people.
I think at the wedding, I was dancing with him at one point.
Probably, he's a great dancer. He'll dance with anybody.
Yeah.
He'll like teach you how to dance and stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you were dancing with a couple people at the wedding.
I don't remember
I think
most
it's
of
on
it.
video. Yeah, it's on video and stuff. But yeah, no, I felt really upset. My best man came to the room and like helped me and helped Karina take care of me, and they ended up putting like the airport pillow around my neck and a pillow behind my ass, and I just was asleep in the bathroom at the toilet. I know that he sent me that picture, so we can also post that one.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I haven't seen that one.
I'll post that picture on the Twitter also. I need to start writing these down like right after we finish recording so I don't forget. So that happened. Obviously she was upset, and I was upset myself, obviously, but she was upset like, why would you do this the night before the wedding, and she was fine with me drinking. She was just upset that I got so drunk that I was like that, and that when I did get into bed I snored so loud she could barely sleep, so she was really tired. And it was, she has to wake up earlier than me, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then wedding day, I felt a little off at first, not really that hungover. Everyone was like, "Oh, you must be so hungover." I was like, "No, not really. I just don't really feel that hungry." So I ate a little bit light food. I drank a little bit of like soda, like flatter soda, to help me calm my stomach, and like some water and stuff to rehydrate. And then by the time it was time to go to the venue, I was totally fine. So like, but it started to pour, raining, like absolutely torrential downpour. But we got so lucky. By the time when we got there, it had finished raining. The sand was still dry. We had like tents set up just in case. It wasn't too hot because it was cloudy, and there was like moisture in the air. It was a nice breeze. It wasn't too windy. I mean, the wind was blowing my hair and her hair and everyone's hair up there. But overall, it wasn't that bad. Some of the pictures were a little tough. Like our jackets kept flying literally like way back. Like we looked like superheroes with a cape, but it was just a really stunted cape. Like it shrunk in the wash. Imagine Batman if his cape only went down like crop top level, right to his mid back.
Yeah.
Got some good pictures. Got some good professional pictures. That was another thing. The photographers were like an hour late. Like by the time when we got there, the girls were supposed to have taken their pictures a lot outside and where I wouldn't be able to see, because we didn't do a first look. It was just the first time I saw my wife, Karina, was when she walked down the aisle. and they were so late that they didn't get any of those pictures. So Karina was really mad about that. They came upstairs, took some pictures of me, but it was so late. We were all done getting ready, and one of the big things is you take pictures of getting ready.
Yeah, so we had
But
to
I
like
was like, I
imitate
can't
it.
wait. Yeah, so we had to take stuff off and put it back on.
Mhm.
We got some pictures like amongst each other. I think that
Oh,
we.
and then the big thing, the groomsmen gifts were
Oh yeah.
we were all One Piece characters, which I had no idea about.
Everyone in my wedding part, everyone in the wedding party was all the men of the One Piece crew. So I was Luffy, my best man was Zoro, and then I went based on
It's
themes. So
backwards,
he's
but
Sanji.
I'm Sanji.
Well, it looked normal to me. It
Oh,
looked normal on my screen.
and there's
Yeah, I got some.
sunglasses, and there's the words on
Show
the side.
show the engravings on the side. Yeah. So these are things that we found. Me and Karina found together, and we
So it
ordered
says Vinny, and then it says Sanji.
Sanji. Yeah, and those are nice glasses.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And we also got like luggage. Karina's gift specifically was luggage tags for everyone with their like the
Mhm.
initial on it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so everyone had a Lego figurine in their boutonniere, which was really cool. Me and Bobby also backup had pins, so I had underneath my jacket I had a Luffy pin and he had a Zoro pin. His Zoro pin broke and he handed it to the wedding planner to fix. And then after it was time to start, like before we went to the venue, we were trying to figure out what to do, like to make it funny. Karina was like, everyone, she just really wanted people to have fun with it,
Mhm.
and she was kind of disappointed in her bridesmaids who didn't do much, like dancing down the aisle. Only like one or two of them did. So
Oh.
what we decided on doing was we were gonna have everyone line up, and then I was gonna come down, and I had a bunch of fake money, and I was originally gonna be throwing the money around because we came down. It was Disney themed wedding, so the songs, a lot of the songs, not all of them, like at the reception, but all the songs for the ceremony itself were Disney themed.
Yeah, so like we walked down to I'll make a man out of you, and like we were like posing like this and this and then
Yeah, and like they were supposed to do like maybe some sword fighting, maybe
Yeah.
some archery stuff, and then stand like kind of like zipper style down the aisles. And then I came out to Prince Ali because Aladdin's my favorite Disney movie. So I was gonna be Prince Ali, glory is he, Ali Ababa. So I was gonna come down like all smug and start throwing money around at the crowd and stuff. But it was so windy, and they had told us that we can't really litter on the beach because of like the turtle eco-friendly stuff.
Mhm.
So instead we get out, like they were gonna all do something for me, like bow or kiss a ring or something like that, and I was gonna give them money based on how much. And I forget if it was you or if it was Fisher Phoenix, aka Dom, but I was gonna give you a shit ton of money, and you grabbed like the small stack that
it was Fisher.
that was Fisher. Yeah, I pulled out like he did something crazy or something. So I pulled out like a shit ton of money for him, and he took the other stack
Yeah.
because he was like, I'm not worthy of that. He took it, so I was like, all right, fine. And then the last person in line, who was the shortest, who happened to be the guy who hates being kissed, I knew right away I was gonna slap him with the money because he's the guy that we always make fun of. So like he came out, I even told him in advance I was gonna slap him. He was like laughing it off like I wouldn't, and then I pulled out the money and I slapped him like a little bit, real light, and then I gave him all the money. And then that money was just all over. People were like throwing it around during the
Mhm.
ceremony and stuff. Also, only one person brought a prop sword that was B Smells, and it
Mhm.
broke walking
Yeah.
down. So I had to pick up the broken piece. It was a lightsaber. So I broke up the broken piece and I started using it. I started like dubbing someone, and I
Mhm.
started like I was like hitting someone with it, and then at the end I had to hand it to someone to give it to the wedding planner. But it was, you know, we all made it work. Whatever
Yeah.
happened, and then the girls came down. Then obviously Karina came down looking beautiful in the dress with her dad. Normal wedding stuff. It was in English and Spanish because like Karina's from Mexico City, and like all of her family, some of her family only speaks Spanish. So we had both, and then it was reception time, and that's when the drinking, the heavy drinking began. I didn't drink a drop of alcohol.
Yeah, you did.
I had one
I had
shot.
a shot with you.
I had one shot because the wedding party had to have a shot. One of my groomsmen got so drunk, like so early, so drunk that he was thrown up in the bushes, and he had to go upstairs in the bridal suite and lay down for
Mhm.
hours. So he wasn't in that. He was cooked by
By like song 2.
hour and a half in or something. Yeah, he was totally
So-
obliterated. He finally came back down toward the very end of the night.
The big thing that happened to me right at the beginning of the night, I chipped my fucking tooth. Right at the beginning of the night.
I forgot it was right at the beginning. You were already drunk though, so
Yeah.
you were like shouting about it to everyone.
Yeah. And so basically what happened is, so I was drunk and people were like pouring shots in people's mouths in the dance floor, and one of the bridesmaids was pouring shots, and so I open my mouth and she's pouring a shot, and then I don't know if I move forward, if she was drunk and moved it towards me, but the tip of the bottle hit my tooth right there and chipped my fucking tooth. It's fixed now. I went to the dentist. That's why I went to the dentist for the first time in 8 years that we talked about earlier.
It it also was just like sharper in the moment, right? It
Yeah.
was like felt a little sharper,
Yeah.
but at least it didn't go down to the nerve, so you didn't have immense pain.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah,
you
yeah.
probably would have had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
When you told me you chipped your tooth, I was like, oh my god, because I've had tooth pain before. That was
Mhm.
really, really bad, and I was like, oh yeah. And then you were like, it's all right, I don't feel any pain. I was like, oh thank God.
Yeah.
He's either so drunk he can't feel it, but there's no way. If you have tooth nerve pain, it's like some of the most intense
Yeah.
pain that you can feel. I was like, even if you were blackout drunk, you would be moaning in your blacked
Mhm.
out state about how much pain you're in, probably. So I was like, all right, good, he's okay.
Yeah.
And then you told me, who did it, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. One of, which of the bridesmaids did it? I
Yeah.
won't name anyone who's not like a streamer or part of this
Yeah,
community,
yeah,
so I'm not gonna name any names. But I was not surprised that was the bridesmaid that that got you. And
but
then
yeah.
from that moment on, you were like, we had a 360 camera that you could do like dances and stuff.
Mhm.
I went on like 4 times. It took me until the very last time to realize that the camera was not where the light was. So I was looking at the light the whole time. So in every video, I look like I'm fucking just staring off into space and I'm totally drunk,
Mhm.
even though I wasn't drinking anything. But we had that. A lot of people were using it, and at one point, like the 3 biggest people at the whole wedding got on and started bouncing around. My best man is one of the bigger people. He's like me, like big, like
Mhm.
he's probably heavier than me, and he was like jumping around. And I was like, oh my god, he's gonna break this thing. It's gonna cost us so much money. We also when he was giving his speech, we were like, you have to get everyone's attention. You're going first, and we were playing Pirates of the Caribbean for him to come up to, and he just like stomped on his chair, stood up on a table, and stomped
Yeah.
around the room. And then he got to the table and he was going to start reading his speech. And we told them when he's ready, just stop the music. They played the whole song. So he's just standing there with his speech done. He like turns to me and he goes, they're playing the whole fucking song, aren't they? And I was like, they're not supposed to, but yeah, I guess they are. We did after that, Maid of Honor gave her speech first in Spanish, then she also did in English. She was funny. Bobby had three pages of stuff. Like he flipped the page. I was like, holy shit, it's a whole second page. You can even see in the video. I was like, oh my god. And then he started flipping the page again, and I went, what the hell? I looked. There was only like 3 lines. I was like, oh, all right. It's only 3 more lines. His speech was great. I liked his speech. But I was just like, damn, this is like, I mean, and I don't care how long it was, but I was just like, damn, he's saying a lot. Like this is a lot of content. And then we ended up doing our first dance we had choreographed, which was as close as we could recreate from the live action Beauty and the Beast. And our song is Beauty and the Beast, so I'm the Beast, obviously, which I'm fine with. I don't care. We like did the bow and we did all the spins and we even did a couple of lifts. You know, we have a couple of good pictures from that. And then it was just party time. So then it was a lot of party music.
Well, so what fucked up me, and this is something you won't see at American weddings too much because I don't think it's allowed. Is
this was very Mexican style wedding.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, yeah.
Every table was dictated a captain. And
this isn't like a Mexican wedding thing. This is like me and Karina thought this up.
No, but like you can't. But what I mean is like I don't think you can give that many straight bottles of alcohol in an American wedding.
Yeah, liquor licenses and stuff. Yeah. There's many less rules.
Yeah.
And
so
very looser restrictions.
That was it's what fucked me up, but it was also one of my favorite parts. Is every captain every table got a captain, and that captain got an entire bottle of alcohol. I think we got Patron. I don't know if every table got Patron, but
some people got Jack Daniels, I think.
And basically they got a sign that was like, "You're the captain. You dictate how the night's gonna go." And when you call for your table to take a shot, everyone at your table takes a shot.
Like they have to.
Yeah.
People can't say no.
And
the other thing was the Smirnoff, the spicy vodka.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get that. Yeah.
That stuff fucks me up after one shot. I think I'm like allergic to it or something.
And so, just for reference, our captain didn't make it the night of my table. And so I took like 3 shots like right away, I'm pretty sure. And that was the start of the night. And
that was Sketch. You were at Sketch's table, right? Yeah. We made Sketch Usagi the captain. Yeah. And there's actually a glorious picture of him, his sleeves rolled up, he's pouring a shot. We've sent him that picture, and I think he's made it his like work official picture, like like on Slack and stuff. Yeah. It's a great picture.
That's funny. So yeah, I started with 3 shots, and then I chipped my tooth, and then the night is a blur to me. So I don't know
And,
what you remember. I
well, I
remember
remember everything.
I remember bits and like I don't know what you remember of me specifically, but
Oh,
I remember bits and pieces. I think at one point so I got you for a shot and other people for a shot, and I have a video on my phone of me going like woo. I'm taking that shot, and
well, we
th-
did also have like the tasty sweet blue shots that everyone was
yeah,
doing like tons of. I mean,
mm-hmm.
it wasn't like they had zero alcohol in them.
Yeah,
They just tasted better.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of people got really messed up on that. There were so many people hanging over, like it was a deck leading up to the venue, which is all on wood with a canopy over it, and it was like almost like a boardwalk if you've ever been to one, leading up from the parking lot area up, and so many people were like hanging over the railing, just throwing up onto the sand or
Mm-hmm.
into the bushes and stuff.
Yeah,
Which it was a successful party.
yeah.
So we
Um,
had a lot of. I mean, you came up to me a couple of times and were like, "I'm drunk. I'm so drunk." Like you said that a couple of times. You obviously made best friends with God, I'm blanking on his name for some reason, but yes, it's like one. That was the first time I'd met him. We invited him. It's his girlfriend who we know from volleyball,
oh, gotcha.
and he was like her plus one.
Mm-hmm.
He was a really cool guy, but
Yeah,
he
he's
was
cool as
really drunk too.
fuck.
He kept coming up and having conversations with me about how like awesome the party was and how he felt so included. You didn't even talk about the pictures. We did pictures. Every single person got a picture with a note uh specifically to them on the back.
Their
Like
picture
I wrote
Their picture
yeah.
looks like fucking. The note was very nice. I have it saved. I didn't throw anything out. Um, their picture looks like when Trump was shot and he's putting the fist in the air.
Oh, that was you got the we had a bunch of different ones.
Yeah,
So you got the Statue of Liberty. We have the
yeah,
Statue of Liberty behind us and we're mimicking the pose.
yeah.
So we did a couple of like the maid of honor actually came to America for a couple of days and we went touring her around New York City because
Mm-hmm.
she'd never been out of Mexico or never been to the US.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever someone comes, they always want to go to New York City. And I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh, having lived here, New York City is not that great, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are a bunch of touristy places that you can go, and we did.
Yeah. No,
And
but yeah,
one of them was going to Liberty State Park, which is on the Jersey side, and you can see the statue pretty good from there.
yeah. We all got handwritten notes. They were very well written.
My hand
Very.
was killing me. We wrote those in like a couple of days, and
Wait, it
we
was
wrote
you who wrote?
100.
I thought Karina signed mine. You wrote mine.
No, we signed it from both of us, but I wrote anyone that was me, like for me, really, like mainly, and she wrote
Oh,
everyone that was like for
it's
her.
maybe I was too drunk. I thought I remember it being from her point of view.
No,
But
it was from both of us.
oh damn.
Like we said like we appreciate blah blah blah.
Oh.
She may have put in something like a special line just for you, but I would have handwritten it myself.
Oh,
We
gotcha.
had it in an Excel file. I put all my stuff in an Excel file. Anything that she wrote, she just ran off the top
Oh, okay.
and wrote it all out. But I needed to know how much I had so that I knew how small to make the letters and stuff.
Oh,
Make sure I
yeah,
didn't run out of room.
Um,
She thought I was so stupid because I ended up doing the work twice. But I was like typing it out versus
that is fair.
handwriting it. It's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
So.
I just remember that night. I went up to a lot of people. I was taking. I am not a selfie guy by any means. You can look through my entire camera roll. There's like no selfies throughout my entire camera roll. That night, there's like fucking 50. I was just going up to people taking selfies. I don't know why.
Other people were too. We had B Smells coming up and being like, "We need one for the Dark Eco disc."
Yeah.
And he like took one that was the three of us because he's also in the WoW guild.
Mm-hmm.
Our guild master was not there because of other circumstances. Like he told me in advance that he wasn't going to be able to come because of some life stuff going on for him in November.
Mm-hmm.
He was missed, but we should have gotten one. We hadn't started playing WoW at the bachelor party,
Yeah.
so we didn't have like a guild, so we didn't have like a disc to upload the the
Mhm.
picture of all of us to.
Yeah.
One day we'll start getting back together. The same way that we have Vinny cons,
Mm-hmm.
we'll have some sort of like Dark Eco cons or something, and
Hell yeah.
we'll find a way. Like if all of us are coming out, like if Lewis is ever coming up from the Carolinas or whatever, we'll maybe try and get you out, and
Yeah.
we'll all try and hang out and stuff.
That'd be fun.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. No, everyone was doing like a lot of selfies, and then you met Fisher Phoenix in person. You met a lot of people
Yeah.
for the first time, people that you know, right?
Yeah.
So Fisher Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
you saw how he's totally different between his like text chat and like his in-person personality. In person, he is like charismatic and
He
he's
has
like
riz.
positive
Yeah.
guy. He's awesome. He comes up to you, he like introduces himself. He's almost like a salesman, but he used to do stage acting and
Really?
like he went to NYU to do student pictures like as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He did that the whole time we were working together. But then you talk to him in chat, and it's like he's just so negative sometimes. It's
Listen,
like,
he might be listening right now.
yeah, he might be. And I've told him before, like he needs to be more positive.
Listen, I
Like,
think
all
you're
these-
I think you're perfect just the way you are, Fisher, if you're listening to this right now.
Fisher, if you're listening to this, you need to be a little bit more positive, at the very least, a little bit. I read something recently that I sent to a couple of different people, and it's like your mind, your brain is almost like it's almost like self-fulfilling in its line of thinking. If you tell yourself a lot of negative things that have happened, like if something happens and you're like, oh, I didn't get my promotion. Oh, I, my car got a flat tire. Oh, I lost $500 or whatever. Your brain is going to start your thinking more and more about the negative things, and then you're going to overall have a life view that is like, oh, like shit stuff always happens to me.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just think of like the positive things, like, oh, I finished this project at work. I have like I got a new puppy and I trained a new trick, and it's awesome, and I love sleeping with this new puppy or whatever, and it makes me feel happy. If you start thinking of the happy positive things, then your brain will focus on that, and it'll start looking for more examples of positivity, and then overall you'll have a more positive outlook. So you can control that to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I went on a much deeper tangent, but I was just saying this, like, there are some people in this world, and I'm not trying to call out anyone specific, but I should be more positive. In college and at the beginning of my like YouTube beginning of like my YouTube uploads and stuff, I was really positive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always felt like good things happened to me. I always got like lucky breaks on things.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow over time I've become more negative, and now I'm like, I always focus on the fact that like I'm stuck behind slow people when I'm driving, or like I'm slightly late for something, I'm overweight, like, or whatever, like a lot of negative things. So
I think
personally
everyone
should be
can
more
everyone
positive.
can be a little more positive. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there that should be a little bit more negative,
yeah,
but
probably.
I don't know who they'd be. Probably some rich 1%ers or something. Probably like where nothing does go wrong in their life, so
Yeah.
they have no examples of negativity. But yeah, no, I think I honestly like that stuck with me. So now I am consciously trying to think of more positive things that happen. So like recording this pod is going to be one of the more positive things for sure.
Yeah.
Because this is a good freaking episode.
Yeah, and speaking of, we're gonna need to
Forever.
delay every other segment to
Yeah.
next episode.
Well, we gotta do the big titties. We've never missed a big titty.
Have we never?
Never. We've
We're
never
at
missed a big
listen,
titty.
we need to end before 2 hours.
What are we at now?
1:42.
That's fine. We can do the big titty. We can just
Okay.
jump right to it. All in all, the wedding was a great time.
Great time.
A lot of positive things. Only minor things went wrong. We fixed them in the moment. Our wedding planner was amazing.
Oh,
If this was like a more
real
popular
quick,
podcast, I would name names for businesses to help them out. But
real quick, we have to mention the car rides back.
oh, the the bus is back. So we had
Yeah.
buses there, and we also had buses back. So there
So,
were
My
Go
bus
ahead.
ride back, I think we stopped 3 or 4 times for people to puke out on the side of the road. Most people made it all the way. I think maybe one person spit up a little bit on the floor, but it was just nasty.
and whoever spit up on the floor, they charged us like a $50 or like $100
Well,
cleaning fee.
yeah, they charged you guys like twice per.
They charged the people that were in the car
Yeah.
who were drunk and just paid them. The drivers told the company that those were tips
Mm-hmm.
and that they still needed to collect the fee from us. So before they took me, Karina, and some of the last stragglers home, they forced us to pay them
Mm-hmm.
so that they would drive us back to the resort. And then the next day, we're Venmoing these people. We're like, hey, we don't want to be a dick. We don't want to be dicks, but you guys cost us this extra money, cleaning fees. And the first person just sent us the money and didn't tell us anything more. The next person who had already flown back, I messaged him like the next day or whatever. And I was like, hey, can you Venmo? He's like, yeah, sure, I can. No problem. But, I already paid the company. I was like, what do you mean? And then he told me the whole story of everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we started a war with these people that they owed us our money back that they charged us on the venue. And then after like this guy is going back and forth with Karina in Spanish. Like they're arguing about like, no, this didn't really happen. No, the drivers aren't allowed to take any money, blah, blah. And then I got one of my friends to just send me the exact like thing that he remembered happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pasted it to the guy. I was like, this is the exact story my friend just told me. This is exactly what happened. All these details. Like verify with the hotel resort if you want, because apparently their staff were also a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely gave your drivers the money. And then the guy got back to us like 2 hours later and said, oh, the drivers took that as tip. And so obviously like Karina exploded in Spanish at the guy like, well, that's like such a shitty business practice and stuff. So they gave us a refund.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of people didn't make it off. There was apparently like, so one guy who might be the biggest tank I know, like the biggest drinker I know that never really feels the effects of it. He was the drunkest I've ever seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Like way obliterated. I couldn't believe it. He was wearing a luchador mask most of the night. Shirt was off most of the wedding. Um, he like gets on the bus with some people, and not even like 20 seconds into the ride, goes, "Stop the bus!" and opens the window and spits out of it. The guy stops the bus. He sprints off into the darkness so far people can't see him, and just starts throwing up for a while.
Uh-huh.
While that's happening, apparently someone else is like throwing up on the bus. And then some people got charged because they did make it off the bus, but they stepped in mud, and the people like charged them for the muddy feet in the bus. I was like, that's extreme, but whatever. The throwing up I can get, I understand, because that's gross and stuff.
Yeah.
But just mud, like that's uncontrollable almost to an extent. So I was a little upset that they even bothered charging those people, but they only charged us for the people that threw up, not for the people that tracked mud on the buses.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there was a lot of buses that stopped. Even Fisher himself, I don't remember. He did have to stop. He was with you, right?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
He had to stop the bus.
I wasn't gonna call him out, but yeah, he did stop the
Yeah.
bus.
Well, Sketchusagi had to stop the bus.
Yeah.
Fisher had to stop the bus. You had to stop the bus.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't have to stop.
I didn't throw up that night.
You didn't throw up that night. That's crazy.
I shit like I had the alcohol shits like no other. I went to that fucking venue bathroom like 4 times that night, but I didn't throw up.
Damn. I really thought you would have thrown up. That's crazy. There were, but I think every single bus back, there were people that had to stop the bus and throw up.
Yeah.
Most people, like you said, made it off, which was nice. Only 2 people actually threw up on the bus, and one was barely anything, apparently.
Yeah.
One was like
Spit up.
the tiniest bit. He was literally in the back row. There was no way he'd make it up to the front, he knew. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a funny experience looking back in it in hindsight, right? Like, I mean, I was not on any of those buses, so I didn't care. But yeah, no, a couple people had to stop the bus, and most people made it. I was actually very surprised when I heard Fisher had to stop the bus, because he stopped drinking for a while before you guys left.
Yeah.
And he seemed totally fine. And I have seen him drunk before. He didn't seem that drunk. So I think, if anything, that was probably motion sickness coupled with it, because the roads aren't the best. So some of them are like rocky like this. They got a lot of bumps and potholes.
Yeah.
And literally getting out, it's so washed away from the rain that happens all the time that they're really big rivets. Like it's almost like it almost feels like you're going off a cliff. So I know that like the first like couple minutes probably jumbled people's stomachs up, and then, just moving more and more motion sickness. So I don't fault anyone that ended up throwing up. Like it just means you had fun, you had a good time.
Yeah.
Those people missed mariachi. We had that at the end. Mariachi's awesome.
I was like,
if you go to Mexico, see live mariachi.
I was there as it was like going on, I think, is when
you dipped out.
Yeah.
I remember when you 3 left.
Yeah.
When the 3 Twitch personalities.
The 3
Beast Smells isn't a Twitch personality, but
the catering that night was
friends.
good as hell too. There were some tacos there.
The midnight tacos, yeah. The midnight snack is usually
I
tacos,
think.
And they're greasy, so they soak up the alcohol. They give you like a second wind, and they were delicious.
Yeah, they were really good.
I love those tacos.
Like I remember
Mexico,
standing in line for the tacos alone. Like no one was near me, but it was a long line. Like I just didn't know anyone, and it felt like I was like it was like probably 5 minutes. I was standing there. It felt like an hour.
Oh man, but worth it. It's worth the hour wait.
It was
right?
worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was it was an awesome party overall.
Yeah.
We can tell more stories about another pod for sure. If there's anything that if people want to hear more about it, obviously more stuff happened. So more than happy to talk more about the specific events, like the bouquet throw and some kid during the the thing throw where it's like the guy throws it. I threw it too short, and like people pushed forward and some kid got knocked out, like knocked against the floor. Yeah. I can tell all those stories another time. I do not want to miss a single podcast ever of Big Titty of the Week.
Okay, I'll go first because mine is very short-ish.
Okay. I mean, mine's also short.
So mine is the Switch Tua, Hawk Tua. We finally got a design reveal for it. I'm gonna get it day 1, 100%. I have mixed emotions on it.
Same.
I think if we don't know the case, if it's not an OLED screen and they're gonna do the same thing, like their Pro version is just gonna be an OLED difference. I think that was all the Switch versus the Switch OLED. That's kind of shitty. Because like you have the technology, right? You're just choosing.
It better be OLED. I didn't even know that was an option. It better be OLED.
I'm not too concerned.
I actually won't buy it if it's not OLED.
Really?
I won't do it. I'll wait on that. In that instance, I will wait because that is unfair. That is stupid.
I might get it just because I probably play my Switch undocked 5% of my total Switch time. So like for me, it's not gonna make too much of a difference. But I can see, like I don't blame you for not getting it.
I also very rarely play it handheld, but I'm not going to encourage the business practice of releasing an inferior product knowing that you have the technology
Yeah.
to make it better.
Yeah.
The OLED screen, all right. If you look at the promo, it gets like 15% bigger? I don't even know what percentage, but it doesn't get that much bigger. So I know that there's no way the OLED screen can cost that much more money
Mm-hmm.
because the screen technology hasn't changed. It's just going to be slightly bigger. I understand when the first Switch came out and then the Switch 2, the OLED technology was probably vastly different in cost between those two time periods. Now it's
Would you be upset if they released two versions?
It depends on the two versions. What are you talking about?
Like we get both versions day one, and there's an OLED and a non-OLED.
Depending on how much more money it is, I would be a little upset, but I would 100% get the OLED version.
Yeah.
Though. Just for when I do want to play handheld, because I do play, like you said, 5-10% of the time I do play handheld. You know, it's like a Steam Deck. Like Steam Deck, there's more handheld stuff coming out, so it makes it the world is becoming more handheld, probably mostly because of phones, like phone games and stuff. So I will probably play. I probably will play over time more handheld. So I do, and big win. The Switch 2 is full of like at least minor wins. Some of them are like question marks, like the fact that the Joy-Cons can probably be mice.
Yeah, that's weird. But
Who the fuck knows what we're gonna do with that? Imagine they're just like, oh yeah, it can be used as like a Microsoft Surface. You can use it as like a full-on tablet. We have Windows installed, and I'd be like, damn, this is a cheap ass tablet. I will fucking buy the shit out of this thing, even if it's not OLED.
Yeah.
But there's no way that's what they're doing. And it's backward compatible. I think they said essentially fully backward compatible.
There's a couple games, and I imagine those games are like that, like Switch, the Switch, like the fitness one with the circle thing,
with the
like stuff like that. I imagine
stuff where you need extra peripherals that will not connect to the Switch 2 probably.
Yeah, but like
so
other than that, I don't care about that.
Yeah, so the Switch 2 does have some big W's going for it. It is a little like it's going to be really powerful, but then you got to imagine that Xbox and PlayStation are coming out with their new generations. They'll probably announce them next year and come out with them in 2027. So the Switch 2 will be very powerful or be able to play the same games as PS5 or PlayStation and Xbox for 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, because it's going to take a while for developers to really use the full power of a new generation of consoles from the bigger companies that use more hardware. So it is still unfortunate. I was talking to someone, I feel like I was talking to Sketch at work. I feel like Nintendo has sort of developed themselves into a corner with this. Like, yes, they've been slowly, progressively moving toward the let's be portable and, you know, make it a full power console and stuff. And instead of having a portable version and a home version, we'll just have one console that does it all.
Yeah.
That's very cool. But over time, they've been doing more and more like cool, interesting things. The Switch 2 is just a bigger Switch.
Yeah.
And now that they've gone full handheld and they're still going to be probably the weakest console of, you know, next gen or whatever in the long run, if they keep going that route, the gap will just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they won't be able to play any games other than Nintendo first-party games. So I really feel like they need to switch kind of back to trying to do more intense hardware stuff.
Yeah, but it's like to an extent, like I'm not buying other. If a game can be played on both, I'm never gonna buy it for my Switch. Whether or not it can look as good, I'm never gonna buy it for my Switch.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's
I guess it is.
I think they can be. They need to be somewhat comparable, but they don't need to be on the same level. I don't think.
That's fair. I was thinking to myself, like, now that they've done 2 generations in a row where they've just gone with this style, it's gonna be very hard if they did want to go to more hardware intensive stuff, because now you're getting so used to this kind of console from Nintendo that it's almost gonna be like a foreign concept if they release a home console that's not portable.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the way that the other companies are going is smarter. Like having the PlayStation Portal and like whatever handheld Xbox is developing, using the cloud infrastructure as your powerhouse so that you can have a portable console that can play like these powerhouse games, or when you're on your local Wi-Fi, like how Steam works or how the Portal works, I believe, having your console turn on and do the processing power and just displays it like wirelessly to another screen. I honestly think that's a better route to go in the long run, because then even portable, you'll be able to play some really awesome games, really powerful, great-looking games. And I don't know. I just think that Nintendo was looking to the future with the Switch 1, and now they're kind of stuck in the present or maybe a little in the past with the Switch 2, whereas the other companies developing their handhelds are doing it with more future-proofing in place. So I do think that this is a personal opinion. Obviously, we don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
None of Sony's handhelds ever really do that well. I imagine Microsoft's won't be that crazy because everyone will compare it to the Steam Deck. because you can play anything on Steam, really. So we'll see how it plays out, but I do think that the other companies did go in a slightly better direction when it comes to that design.
I can
But
see it.
who knows? I know what time are we at now?
You got 5 minutes.
I mean, all right, fine. I actually thought we might have been overtime.
No.
So my big titty of the week, solo leveling. All right, I think I used it at one point a long time ago. Solo leveling season 2. I'm begging Vinny to watch it.
Because I'm a dumb piece of shit, and I don't watch it.
Yeah, he's a dumb piece of shit. He was gonna watch it when season 1 completed. He didn't.
I didn't.
Now season 2 is going. He's like, maybe when season 2's done. No.
Is it ahead of? So what volume are they on in the anime?
They are on volume 5, I believe.
Gotcha.
They're going to be done by the end of season 2 with volume 6. Maybe even slightly into volume 7 based on how far they're going, because they accelerate things. Some people are a little upset. They're cutting out some of the humor. They're making it a little bit more like of a serious tone, less humor. I agree with that to an extent. Like, I do wish that they would just adapt the source material 100%, put in no extra content. Like, just tell this, like, just adapt the story as it was.
Yeah.
But but where we are in season 2, it's crazy. It's so awesome. Season 2, they've had one episode that was like slower, but every episode since the first episode has been fast-paced action. There's fights. That's how the thing is. Last episode, so I watched today's episode. We're recording this on Saturday, February 1st. Our New Year's resolutions are starting in February or whatever. I don't know. We didn't, I watched today's episode. It's like halfway through. I think the next episode will finish out volume 6 or something. The first episode, or volume 5, sorry. The first episode, or the episode last week, was so good. I was going to stream, and it's before I started stream, which I'm going to stream every Saturday, so I'm going to stream after this also. But before I started stream, I went and read the volume, and I reread it because I was like, I have to know what's going to happen. I can't wait on these cliffhangers.
Damn.
It gets me so pumped up. I just watched this episode. It made me want to reread it again. It's so good. You just have to watch it.
Damn.
And I'm imploring everyone. But
I think I have volumes 1 through 6 or 1 through 5.
Through the Crunchyroll store, I ordered the alternate art volume 11 already. That delivers, I think, sometime later this month.
Nice.
I'm current. I'm 100% going to end up rereading the series over time. I'm glad I bought it physical. I would recommend that anyone, but like, I understand if some people don't like manga because it's like black and white, or maybe, and reading right to left and stuff. Manhwa, the way they develop these volumes, totally different. You read it from like you do like the Americanized version or like the Western world version. So it's from left to right, and it's full color.
Yeah.
Like it's beautifully drawn. There's more humor in it, and I think this is probably true for all manhwas.
What? Oh,
that they're all full color.
Yeah.
That they're all full color.
Did you know that there's a sequel series for
Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I don't want to read it until I finish solo leveling.
Well, because also it's only right now a light novel, I think.
Is it really? No.
Because the original solo leveling. Oh, there's both. Never mind. There's both.
There's both, because I know that the artist got hit by a car and he has to take a month break or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the artist. It's the same creator and artist from the first one, and I know a little bit of spoilers of how how this one will end up because of the content of Ragnarok. So if you want no spoilers, don't look up what Ragnarok is and who the main character is or anything. But I mean, it's just such a good series. It could be my big titty for the whole rest of this season of anime. I swear. It's very well animated also, because they have another. I don't have a lot of time, so we're not gonna go into details on other animes or anything like that. We can do that next pod. But I don't know. I'm just begging people. Solo Leveling season 2 is so good. It's so well done, and the manhwa is great. It's fast paced the whole time. I know a lot of manhwas, a lot of it, manga in general, a lot of series will fall off. So far, we're up to volume 10. It has not fallen off. Yeah. It takes me about an hour to read each volume. I cannot devour this. I just devour them. I can't wait to see what's happening next and next and next and next and next. And honestly, where 10 ended, the cliffhanger of volume 10, holy shit. Okay, I cannot wait for 11. That's why as soon as I finish 10, that's the first time I ordered it in advance. I usually wait, it comes out, I go to a bookstore and buy it. I need 11 on release day.
Damn.
I need it.
That's crazy.
I'll watch my strange addiction. My strange addiction. Soul Leveling.
Soul Leveling. I don't know when I'll watch it, but I will watch it. I promise you.
You're watching
I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh!
When you finish Ori Calcos arc, just watch all of Solo Leveling. I swear it's gonna fly by.
But here's
you watch the whole first season in a day.
It's like, do I want? If it's so good, don't I want to just wait until 2's over and I can binge it? Why?
No, because it's so good right now. it's gonna make you want to read the manhwa, which you already have up to where they're probably gonna finish this season on, and then just read that. Like if you get caught up on the series, start again from volume 1, read it. It'll take you like a couple of hours in total. It'll take you 6 hours total, maybe. You spread that out through like a course of a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then you catch up, and then you buy the rest so that me and you can talk about it when the 11 comes out.
All right. Maybe I'll start it today. Maybe. But maybe I'll do after Orichalcos arc. Right now, for those who don't know, I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I've decided I'm jumping into the watching Pokemon, the whole series. I've decided.
That's crazy. That's like longer than One Piece.
Oh my god, we hit 2 hours. Oh
shit, the first time ever. That's all right. I mean, this is an action-packed pod.
Yeah.
Action-packed. It's just like Solo Leveling Season 2, but in podcast form.
Hell yeah.
God, I love Solo Leveling. I'm so glad that this series became, like, somehow I found the series. I don't remember how. You probably told me about it.
Yeah, because I think I started reading the manga or the manhwa.
Oh, man.
And then it got greenlit, and then I told you about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started it. No. I watched the first episode, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then I went and bought the first.
Yeah.
The first. So you definitely told me to watch Solo Leveling, and then I went and bought the first volume.
Yeah.
I think that day, or maybe like the next day. Oh man, so good. All right, good. He'll be watching it, so we'll talk about it next pod. Guaranteed, he's gonna watch it by then. We have it in writing.
Not guaranteed.
We have it in writing. We have it in writing.
Damn.
I'll write it down somewhere and forge a signature, and then I'll sue him if he doesn't. I swear.
Holy shit! I didn't know it was that serious.
This is serious. This is the most serious I've ever been in my whole life about anything.
Damn.
We were just talking about my wedding. All right, that's how serious.
Holy shit! I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. But all right, we're at time. We're way beyond time.
We've been at time.
We've been at time. Sorry for anyone of the long episode. Hopefully you enjoy it, and we're gonna keep this energy up because this is the new us.
Hell yeah!
All right. So once again, you didn't hear it here first. You didn't hear it here last. You heard it here. ... Eventually.